we're live. Just gotta make sure YouTube is though. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I'll tell you guys my internet story. So the past couple of days, even on the weekend, the past weekend, I've been having a lot of internet troubles. And what happened was, cause I couldn't get them to come fix it during the weekend. It's holiday, so they said we'll come fix it on Monday. They sent a technician on Monday, and technician came here, checked out the ports, checked out the routers, the everything, and just said, "Oh, your router's busted. You need to buy a new one." Okay, bought a new one. Spent like 100 plus ringgit, which is about 20-30 bucks USD. Got that done. Set it up. Shit worked for a little bit. It worked for a little bit. And didn't work afterwards. So I spent another couple of days without internet. But the day after that, the day after I bought the router, I went to refund it because it just didn't work. And went to my IP provider. So they just told me, "Oh, if it doesn't work, we'll send you the technician again, but you probably gotta wait till tomorrow. And if you want a refund, you should immediately go back to the store that you bought it from and refund it." So I went to the store, refunded it, whatever. The guy in the store who sold the router was like, "I mean, if you want, I can come check out what's wrong with your internet." And he was nice enough to just drive like half an hour to my house and just got it checked. And I paid him, of course. I didn't really want to not pay someone to do stuff like this for free. So I paid him, got it diagnosed. He said it was, I don't even remember what the issue was, but it definitely wasn't the router. Maybe something wrong with the internet provider itself. I don't necessarily know, but he diagnosed it and he fixed it within like an hour. So he got that shit done and it worked, but it's still unstable. Sad. Can't really do anything about that. It's Malaysian internet, man. What can you do? From YouTube, Twitch is working fine. Yeah, it's just YouTube. It's weird. So yeah, unfortunate. But it's a the thing about YouTube, right? It's a completely different video now, which is weird. But yeah, that's my internet journey. getting my router replaced and then apparently not needing it and getting a refund. And then the IP, the provider didn't help at all. Fucking sending the technician and the technician didn't even know what the hell was wrong. They tried to fix it. The dude who managed the store tried to help me fix it, but it's still unstable apparently. The good thing about Twitch is, like, I can definitely just have it stall for a little bit, but YouTube, I think it just stops. It just DCs you and leads you to another video, which is sad, but what can you do? Can't really do anything about stalling YouTube streams. Never had that internet before, but I mean, sounds rough. Yeah, Southeast Asian internet, what can you do? Thankfully, our internet's relatively cheap and affordable, but stuff like this just happens from time to time. Nothing much you can do about it except deal with it. But yeah, as I was saying, maybe I can pluck the Twitch VOD from this, but Alvin Joe makes really good restaurant food, behind the scenes stuff. If you guys are interested, I didn't know how. If you were to put me in a situation where I could talk to Faker or any other pro players that are considered to be legendary level in League, I probably wouldn't know what to say. I probably wouldn't even know what to ask him because like I'm not familiar enough with the game, and that's why I appreciate Caterol's streams, especially the on-site streams where he's in the arena and sometimes players just pop over for a quick interview, and that's like he just knows what to ask, right? He's pretty good at this thing. It's if I was put in that situation, I mentioned this earlier, it'll be like I'm playing a new champ for like the first couple of times and I don't really know the power spike of the champ and how much damage they can do, how much they can contribute to team fights. Whereas for real life situations like this, I wouldn't know, I wouldn't understand the true power spike of what Faker or other pro players mean to the people. Since I'm new to this, and while I am aware of the legendary feats that Faker has accomplished, I haven't followed a majority of his career. If you put me in a situation where I can talk to guys like Dendi or Puppy, then hell yeah, because I've known of their careers and I've known of their journeys for a long time. So yeah, video was nice. Shows like a behind the scenes. The chef was pretty freaking passionate about everything. Providing the service for the players. He's just happy to be there. And he's a fan, right? That also helps. But it's crazy to see, like, he works from early morning all the way to like midnight or something. And he has to do it all over again, which is restaurant business. Every restaurant, I think, it's kind of like that, right? You see the ramen chefs in Japan that just start cooking their broth at like 5 a.m. and they gotta open the entire day the next day, and they gotta repeat the process every day. It's crazy. But yeah, that is it for this. Feel like somebody's flipping a switch to mess with you. Well, I don't think I'm relevant enough to be DDoSed. It comes down to your own personal idea of what's good. Like Baus is a prime example. Dude's whole thing is what is a good dev. I have not watched Baus. I've heard him be referenced a lot, but yeah, don't really know. Don't know him. It's the same case as Reckless, right? I didn't know how much of a legend he was until people told me. So yeah. Let me watch what is next. What is next? I can't watch this yet. Okay, so maybe the K-Coma, or I don't know what he's called. So apparently he's a coach. I don't really know how relevant he is, or what teams he worked for, or I was just recommended this. So let's see how important a coach is in League of Legends, because coaches are pretty freaking important in Dota as well. They help with the drafts, they help with the team, the vibes. And one of the most popular cases of a coach being extremely relevant in Dota is that I'm gonna reference this again. It's gonna be OG. OG had Seb as a coach for quite a few of the majors that they won, leading up to a point where the whole Birmingham incident happened and they had to replace a couple of their players who left for another team. Seb stepped in as a player. So he went from coach to player. And he still pretty much provided the whole coaching experience. He was He was vibe check master. He was motivational speech guru. So let's see what Keikoma. The only word that rings in my head when I see the name of this coach is the Twitch emote Keikona. So join the Discord, hells yeah. He has a very weird way of playing the game. I need to watch him because otherwise I wouldn't know. Okay, so let's see. Keikoma.
Coaches in League of Legends are an unseen force.
말했지만 부담되는 경기야 져선 안 되는 경기야. 100% 이겨야 되는 경기라 부담 갖고 이겨야 돼. 아까 얘기 못했는데 어차피 우리 목표 8강 이런 게 아니라 일단 다 우승 목표로 하고 있어서.
They're the glue that keeps the world's greatest teams together and the minds behind the game's biggest moments.
They will be the Season 3 World Champions! SKT will be your first ever two-time World Champions! They are the undisputed best team in the world! The SKT reign continues! They win their third World Championship!
But to the average viewer, their work is mostly invisible.
야 파터마 얘기되는 거나 뭐 있으면 도움되는 거 1분 이상 나와야 돼. 8강 보상하자.
캐리할 만해요.
오케이. 캐리 안 해도 되니까 잘해라 얘들아. 5경기 뱀픽 준비하고 있을게.
집중해서 하자. 집중해서. 파이팅 파이팅.
But behind every brilliant draft, every meta innovation, there's a group of resolute coaches and analysts that push the scene forward.
이번에는 미포랑 니달리랑 제이스 할 거거든.
And they dress so professionally.
반대로 되게 좀 마지막이니까 이런 얘기 하는데 혼내는 게 아니라 반대로 뭐 픽이 좋아서 그렇게 된 걸 수도 있는데 제일 많이 호상이가 또 잘해주고 있는 거 보니까 많이 가슴 아프더라.
Innovators, strategists, leaders. They are the game's unsung heroes. And among the greats, there's one coach who stands apart.
He's teaching arts, how to make the art in League of Legends, not teaching League of Legends. That's what I felt when I just joined SKT. It was completely different when I think the League of Legends, just playing the game. Like in Summer's Rift, there's Como art, and then he's drawing with a player, and I just following his, order.
This is the story of one of the greatest coaches in League of Legends' history. This is the story of Koma.
Bro looks like he could be their manager.
Kim Koma Jung-gyun's career didn't begin as a League of Legends coach. Originally, he was a StarCraft 2 player. Koma played under the handle Little Boy for Team Old Generations, but after failing to qualify for GSL Code A, he decided to jump ship to a new up-and-coming game that was taking Korea by storm.
Oh my god, look at those graphics. Oh my god, this is the graphics I know.
He jungled for Startale in the earliest days of Korean League, but his brief pro career petered out after Startale placed 9th to 16th in the Spring 2012 Champions Tournament. Koma left the team in April, but by late 2012 his career took a fateful turn, and the StarCraft 2 player turned jungler became a coach. He joined a growing SKT organization, one that in February would add their fledgling T1-2 roster, a new team built around solo queue superstars. T1-2 was packed with talent, from mechanical prodigies like Impact and Piglet to the stable and powerful Bengi and Pumandu. But of course, the team's heart was its mid laner, a 16-year-old phenom named Faker.
저도 처음 만났을 때는 원래 잘 눈도 못 마주쳤었어요. 그냥 왜냐면 정말 그때는 애기였었으니까. 지금도 물론 이제 처음엔 좀 어두웠거든요. 점점 좀 지나면서 밝아지는 게 굉장히 좀 신기하기도 해요.
But what Faker then lacked in maturity,
It's probably because he played League 12 hours a day that he's dark and gloomy, right? I think we can all agree with that. I was thinking, why suddenly go off? My stream died. I can't help it. And YouTube is weird. YouTube, it doesn't... you can't stay on the same stream it turns into a separate video, so it's weird. But man, is it the same in League where, I mean, I guess it's the same in most cases, right? Where just because you are a really good player, it doesn't make you a really good coach. And if you're a really good coach, it doesn't necessarily mean you are a really good player. Because coaches need to know how to verbalize things, how to talk. And you can't really say things that will either villainize or point the blame towards someone, right? You gotta always be baby's going ham. Really ham in the bathroom. You just gotta be someone who is able to verbalize your thoughts pretty neutrally. I think that's the word.
More than made up for in raw, unstoppable talent.
His mechanics are just so good that he can keep up, even under turret.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious to see how well Captain Jack would do in this lane because he's been typically a relatively...
That's niddly mid.
Ambition! What? Faker just executes Ambition in that mid lane.
In spring 2013, T12 placed third after dropping to the eventual champions MVP Ozone in the semifinals. Even in that first tournament, T12 cemented themselves as SKT's strongest roster. But it wasn't until the summer split that Koma and his team hit their stride.
Tags off a bit, and look at Ryu. He knows it's over. Champion Summer is over. SK Telecom coming back after being 2 down. There goes the Nexus. GG!
An incredible reverse all kill coming out of SK Telecom. There's Koma, the coach in the booth.
Ahead of the Season 3 World Championships in Los Angeles, SKT had cemented themselves as Korea's greatest hope. They made Worlds 2013 their playground.
I still can't recognize that that's Faker. Oh my god.
3 members of TSM. The first victim will be Xpecial. He got the crescendo down, but it's not going to be enough to save them, as now Dyrus will be the second victim of the fight. That's a double kill for Piglet as he now flashes over the wall. Triple kill as he turns into Wild Turtle. This is going to be the Quadra. Does pick up the Quadra kill. No kill secured yet. Kane looking for the hook. Not going to connect. Faker still alive, but now Nug into trouble.
He's got the shockwave still alive, and there is the shockwave coming down, but Faker so very low. Expansion dies. Faker still alive. Protect comes in. Kane trying to get the kill. Kane does get the kill. Bakey will bring it back now.
They've entered into the fight. Royals health bars are just getting demolished. Uzi on the outside trying to do what he can, but it's not going to be enough. Uzi's chased into the base, and SKT wipes him for the ace.
Oh, they couldn't protect the puppy.
And it quickly became evident that no one could match SKT's raw power.
This does not look good for Royal.
This doesn't engage. Crescendo catches all of them. It's a double for impact. They get on the fountain. SK Telecom are just rolling through. The Nexus turrets are potentially going to go down.
Damn, it looks so different.
This could be a 20-minute game for SK Telecom. They will be the Season 3 World
I'm guessing each season it kind of looks different. I don't really know. And like the plates and the crystals thing is like this season, right? It's introduced this season. Because I don't think I've seen plates before, and I don't think the whole crystal thing where you hit the tower after it hasn't been hit in a while. Turning the volume up a smidge. Whole clips, damn old riff. Bitcoin Gragas. Started changing map every season recently, but not every one. Ah. That's... But the plates thing? There was plates on T1 turrets was there, but they died at 14 minutes. Oh. That's completely, like, I guess it's new then. It's the crystals thing as well, right?
Here at the Staples Center.
SKT returned home to Korea, triumphant and unstoppable. In Champions Winter, SKT played the only perfect season in Korean League history, taking their second domestic title without dropping a single game. SKT were untouchable. Though Koma was the coach of the most successful League of Legends team in the world, he'd managed to fly somewhat under the radar. In the earlier days of competitive League, coaching was an underappreciated and poorly understood skill. In fact, back in 2012, there were hardly any coaches to speak of, especially in the West.
Same as Dota.
In the early stages of, say, Season 2, there basically weren't any coaches available. Everything was very player-driven. There was nobody to really resolve conflict because everybody was involved in every single conflict. There was no neutral party to kind of oversee the team, and that led to a very chaotic scene with a lot of breakups and a few good teams.
Koma was part of the first wave of coaches in the competitive scene. But unlike the West, Korea had something of a blueprint in place when it came to coaching an esports team. Many of Koma's peers were pro players who had very little coaching experience. And in the West, the idea that players should respect their coaches had yet to fully take root. But Koma implemented a strict system, working closely with his players and along with his head coach, was responsible for laying some of the groundwork that Korean League coaching infrastructure would grow on. In 2014, a new power was rising in Korea. Samsung Ozone, who were later known as Samsung White, and their sister team, Blue, were a dominant force through Champions Spring and Summer. In the spring, SKT were toppled by Samsung Ozone in the quarterfinals.
And that is it, an ace, and can they close it out after a season with 0 losses for SK Telecom K, including a 3-0 of Samsung Ozone in the finals. Ozone will come back in the round of 8 in Champions Spring and claim a 3-1 victory.
Sometimes these old graphics hit different.
And the same thing happened in the summer.
Especially if you're playing it on a CRT monitor.
Just way too high. And yeah, SKTK doing everything they can at this point, but it doesn't even make a difference. A little bit of damage on
what the hell is that?
Impact, chasing a turret, backs off, but there goes the Nexus. GG.
What, did it puke on the ground?
Chasing a turret, backs off, but there goes the Nexus. GG. And Samsung White onto the semifinals yet again, taking down SK Telecom K.
And the greatest heartbreak of all came at the regional finals.
But I think it's going to be an impact is all that stands between Najin Shield and a trip to the 2014 League of Legends World Championships. Can he defend? There's 30 seconds. It's not going to work. There's the first Nexus turret. There's the second. And there goes the Nexus. Najin Shield is going to Worlds.
The defending world champions had gone home to a perfect season, only to miss the next World Championship altogether. For Koma, it was devastating. If you've followed League of Legends, then you've probably heard analysts and broadcasters talk about the incredible work ethic of most Korean pros. Well, that work ethic extends beyond the pros to their coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
Throughout his career, Koma has cultivated a borderline extreme work ethic.
좀 주위에서 그런 말 많이 해요. 그러니까 너무 좀 섬세하고 뭐 그런 부분이 커서 그래서 좀 내려놓을 수도 있고 뭐 한데 그 부분이 참 말 그대로 저희가 프로게임단이기 때문에 그냥 매년
And so, as much as the players were devastated by the loss, Koma felt it too. Changes needed to be made, and heading into 2015, the Korean scene as a whole did just that. Koma brought a new SKT roster into a new Korea in 2015. Piglet, Impact, and Pumandu were out, and a new unified SKT with Bang and Wolf alongside Marin in the top lane looked to improve on 2014. And it was during that first split that Koma made one of the more controversial decisions of his coaching career.
Wait, what's this? What's this I spy in the SKT booth? It's not Faker, it's EasyHoon. Faker, here's how we operate. We pick our star player into an unfavorable matchup and then we kick him out when he doesn't do well.
EasyHoon saw more playing time than Faker throughout the season, and when it came time to face their biggest domestic rivals, EasyHoon played all 3 games of SKT's final set against the GE Tigers.
You could just do this?
해서 좀 가슴이 아팠고
Faker in the
어느
crowd?
선수가 그런 무대에서 안 뛰는데 웃고 있을 수 있겠어요.
Wow, we may see a finals without Faker.
Well, there are two schools of thought here. You either give the fans what you want, Doa, or you save
So,
Faker.
someone's told me this, but at one point, T1 had about 9 players, and they were experimenting switching the players in and out. I I've never seen that in Dota. For the most part, Dota is just like, maybe, especially this climate nowadays, if you can't get a visa, that player is not going to be able to play, and you might want to sub him. And you can get a sub from any team, any player that's not playing that tournament. You can pretty much sub them in. I don't know, like, if does it work like this? It doesn't work like this in League, because you can just, apparently you can just switch for no reason. Plates were only on tier 1 as well. They did a big quality update around season 4 to be close to visually what it is today. On the ground, that's Kog'Maw. That is completely different. My god. The puke on the ground looks like soup that has been spilled on the ground. This is insane though. I cannot imagine, because coaches, a lot of people don't really, like, you don't see what they do in real time. You only hear of their contributions and you don't really think much of it. They're responsible for draft ideas. They're responsible for team meetings and just like being the mediator between the players, because otherwise you're just gonna have a lot of conflict, like they said. Yes, sometimes you gotta be the therapist. Sometimes that's just, you gotta listen to your players' troubles, and maybe the players are, you know, kind of beefing, and you gotta be the one settling it, because that's your job. Maybe nowadays they'll hire psychologists and they have their own mental health, human resource, whatever departments, but back in the day, I don't think coaching in Dota was implemented, or at least people didn't really take coaching seriously until, again, OG, when they brought Sebin, and he was one of the, I don't know if I'm right on this, but I think he was one of the, OG was one of the first teams to actually have a successful coach. And that's when people started realizing, maybe we can adopt this as well. Maybe it'll work.
For MSI.
Faker spent much of the year grinding his way back, and by the time Worlds rolled around, he was usually in the starting seat. But despite their success in 2015, whether or not benching Faker was the right choice, telling the greatest player of all time to sit was a tough choice.
또 뭐 팀 같은 경우에 진짜 뭐 근데 또 상혁이 혼자 있는 팀이 아니기 때문에 코칭 스텝은 이제 팀 단위로 봐야 되기 때문에 어쩔 수 없었는데.
Damn.
SKT hit a snag at the inaugural mid-season invitational, but they returned home to another domestic title in Korea, and heading into Worlds, SKT looked like Korea's best hope for a third consecutive championship. And for Koma, this was an important tournament. He wasn't the leader of a brash young team that could win on mechanical skill alone. He'd felt both the euphoria of a Worlds win and the bitter sting of missing the tournament entirely. And that loss had made him stronger.
경험을 다 해봤기 때문에 오히려 지금이 훨씬 더 성숙해진 코치가 된 것 같습니다. 왜냐면은 정상에도 서봤고 작년에 롤드컵도 떨어져 봤고 이번에 다시 왔기 때문에 경험이라는 게 엄청 많이 쌓인 것 같아요.
No team had ever won 2 world championships, but this year was the year to change that. SKT hardly broke a sweat on their way to the finals. They went undefeated in a group with the same EDG that bested them at
slightly curly-haired Faker. What? I didn't watch League back then, of course. Faker's image and his hairstyle, his whole image now is like so iconic that it's just hard to look back at these old footage and just think that it's Faker. He looks like a completely different person. It is normal to swap players on the fly. That's crazy. Damn. So I mean, if it works like that, I guess you can just swap in the player with the better hero pool against their strategies, right? Like if you're preparing against, plus maybe other rosters can't really afford extra players. So if you plan accordingly against their strats, and you just have a player that counters it in your roster that can sub in at any time, it's like, why not, right? That's crazy though. 2020 season T1 had a 10-man roster. Yeah, I heard about that. You don't know what roster you will have every other day. Broccoli Faker. Literally my childhood, 2015 SKT. Oh man, but the broccoli haircut. Nowadays, if you see a broccoli haircut, it's like, you know those people are shit influencers.
MSI months earlier. They then swept AHQ and Origin. The last team standing in their way was the same one they
it's so
overcome
puffy.
at the beginning of the year. And though the Coup Tigers put up a valiant fight,
There is a moment of the spectacle. Here we go. What a hit on the Faker. Eyes focused onto him. He's forced to flash over the wall, but it doesn't save him. Kuro gets the shot necessary. A double kill for the Kassadin, and this spells very bad things for SKT. The bottom inhibitor is already broken, feeding super minions into the base. This is going to be Marin going down as well, as he's too far from home. Over the wall. Bang's going to go down now. The fly in. The lunge from Smeb. A few more hits, and he goes down.
it wasn't enough. Not even close.
SKT comes on the hunt, goes in. That's going to be Hojin in a real sticky situation. He goes down a full 3-man Gnar ultimate. That's going to be smacked down now. Eyes onto the AD carry, but the support hits. It's going to be Kuro out safely. Prey, however, has to run away from his base. SK Telecom looking to take down the final Nexus turrets. It does not look good for Kuro and his team. Coup Tigers are falling. SKT will be your first ever two-time world champions.
Damn. And the black jerseys as well.
Where teams are starting to get really inclusive with their substitutions.
It's another thing that puts SKT even further ahead of the competition, that they're already fielding a 6-man roster with rotating that roster and actually getting a lot of value out of these.
Yeah, and I think that's where you end up looking to other teams now and what they end up taking away from this experience at Worlds, from both their own experiences but as well as from witnessing the achievements of SKT. Clearly this organization is doing something right.
And you're so used to seeing T1 with the red and the black, right? Seeing them in all black is like alternate universe type shit.
2016 got off to a predictable start. SKT triumphed in the spring split and rolled through MSI.
There's the red.
But they faltered in the summer split playoffs.
Doesn't get punished yet, actually is able to make it out. Now the Guardian Angel's gonna get popped. Snap back from Duke as he's trying to stick into the back line.
They're on the Nexus! They're on the Nexus, and KT Rolster!
They're gonna do it! They take down SK Telecom in the reverse sweep, bringing it back 3 games in a row, and they are going to the finals on the 20th to face against the Rocks Tigers.
Heading into Worlds, some analysts thought of the Tigers as the favorites to win it all. But for SKT's rabid fan base and the organization itself, anything short of a third world championship would be considered a failure. Players have sometimes talked about the tremendous pressure that comes with playing for SKT. And for Koma, the pressure was no different. He knew he had a team that could win it all. Knew that his fans, his team, expected
what is the sign?
win it all. Knew that his fans
赢了去吃海底捞 If you win, go eat 海底捞 Hello. What is up, guys? Most, if not all teams in the world have 6 in the roster, not including if they have a sub-team in Tier 2 or Academy that they can promote. Before I loved Faker, I loved Marin first as a kid. T1 in black and gold, I've never seen it. So I can't... I don't know. I've only, like... Ever since I knew T1 existed, it was always red. So yeah. 2015 Worlds run is still the most dominant Worlds run ever. They only lost 1 game. Too good, man. But it also, like they said, it adds to the pressure. Because if you win Worlds back to back, what's next? You gotta win the third time. You gotta win a fourth time. It just never ends. The pressure just keeps building. Especially for the coach, right? So, assuming he's still with the team to this day, wouldn't that mean he's the longest standing person in the team? Latest jersey is black and gold. I haven't seen it. So yeah. Maybe I'll see it in MSI.
His team expected victory.
이번 연도 작년에 롤드컵 우승하고 초 때부터 즐겨본 적은 없는 것 같습니다.
Dude, if their latest jersey is black and gold, do they repaint the building to black and gold as well?
그 자리가 무겁다는 걸 많이 느껴서 그때 7등하고 그 뒤로 스프링을 우승했어요. 스프링, IM, MSI 모든 리그를 우승하고 딱 썸머 하나만 또 결승을 못 갔는데 그때 또 한번 다시 이 정상의 자리 SKT 이 무게를 좀 느껴가지고.
Koma had built up a legacy as the world's most decorated coach. He was revered by his peers and respected by his players.
He's a better coach than me. That's words from Ryu, so that's a good motivation for me because he's a pretty honest person and he's nice. So that's like the nicest way he could put it. It's a really hard mark to look at and look at SKT and be like, they're wrong. It's hard to look at Koma and be like, Koma, you're doing it wrong right now.
But none of that would matter if SKT failed at Worlds.
Yeah.
After they made it out of groups, SKT's first obstacle were Royal Never Give Up. The Chinese squad looked outmatched, but all eyes were on their semi-final opponents, the ROX Tigers, a matchup that many fans had hoped to see in the finals. And from the very first game, it was clear this series would be something special.
Oh, Peter jumps in! He's in a pretty dangerous spot, stuns up in a bang, but now being chased down by Vangie. This could be enough damage to trade one back, and they will find the ROX Tigers jungler. Now it's Duke running for Shockwave, not quite gonna land. They're missing plenty of CC, but it's still 2 kills picked up, and Duke is just too tanky. Svev is now alone under the turret, will be running out of health, and it's Kuro to try to save the fight. Looks for Faker, does turn around one, and Svev will not be killed off. It's a 2 for 3. ROX finding a couple of kills to get again. Kuro nearly finds a third as well.
In game 2,
bro is 1v5.
the always creative
What the hell?
Tigers came ready with a counter to Zyra. Widely considered the strongest support on the patch, Support Misfortune.
Support Misfortune.
Oh, that's an insta-locked Misfortune.
Something really weird. I don't care about my last point.
This is an insta-locked Misfortune.
Support MF.
It worked.
Which means they can play safe and play aggressive.
Ash arrow.
Arrows land on the wolf, and it's just going to be too much damage, too fast. Teleports be damned. Who cares? A 2-on-2 kill for the ROX bottom
How do
lane.
you beat Zyra Poke? You outrange it.
얘들아 니 많이 힘들어?
And then it worked again.
Also worth noting is sort of part of the course. Yes, Wolf getting caught at level 4. Here's the jump in. A few more attacks will do it, and that's first blood. With the flash kick on the bang. That was beautiful.
Into a potential dragon.
Oh, this happens in Dota as well. Oh, I am reminded of the Ana IO that Team Liquid refused to ban in the last game of the grand finals of TI. They thought they could handle it, so yeah, they didn't see it as a threat, despite the fact that Ana's IO went completely undefeated. I forgot the record. I'll probably put it in the edit, but he was completely undefeated with IO, and IO is usually not a carry, but he played it as a carry. That's insane. K-Koma did... Why do I keep saying K-Koma? Koma did 2013 to 2019, left for 2020, joined Damwon in 2021, then he came back until now. Due to some stuff, he recently stepped back again and let another coach be the head coach. I love Koma, but the decisions he's been doing the past 2 years are pretty sus. It won't be a problem if you win Worlds in the end of the year. I've seen Line 3 AP Misfortune MF this patch. I hate them, they just spam E from 800 units away. When I first played Misfortune, I honestly, I did think she would be a pretty good support. Just because her entire kit is basically like burst damage and slow. And you run fast, so you can reach the fights faster. I still to this day, I don't really know how you play her as an ADC. Maybe she just attacks really fast, and that's pretty much it. But yeah. Her ult is like, you know, an entire wave of bullets just raining into a team fight, and if you could pick another ADC and use her as support, why not, right? SKT versus Rocks best of 5 is or was considered the best best of 5 ever played. There are some series in recent years that can contest, but this was the best. So this was the TI3 of Dota for a long time, I guess. TI3 of Dota went 5 games, and it was one of the most memorable series. It was Na'Vi versus Alliance. And for, I think, about 5-6 years, it's still a little less than 5 years until OG. It was considered to be one of the best series. So this was like memorable for a lot of people who watched it back in the day, I guess. Some series that comes up in my leagues, this is one of the best, if not the best. Was this the base race game? Misfortune's passive is weird. It is. You gotta keep switching targets, right? If I'm not remembering wrong. MF support kind of makes sense, but Carrier's Callista or Caitlyn support makes 0 sense to me. Carrier being Carrier. Prey Arrow series, most goated Ashe Arrow in history. BLG T1 24 Worlds Finals is one of the recent big ones. I've seen it. I don't remember what happened. Was it the Azir game? The ruler thing where Faker Azir did the was it that one? Or was that last year? I don't remember. T1 versus DRX. T1 versus BLG. Both end in 5 games. Do you watch videos about teams and staff around it if it's not made by a region or Riot? I'll watch anything as long as it's good. This is not exactly a region video. This is by the score. And unfortunately, they shut down. So I'll watch anything as long as it's good. It was Galio. Oh, that was 2023, I see. Faker Smurfs on Silas and Galio. So what are Faker's best champs? Because some people told me Azir. Like Azir is like his most iconic champ. I'm used to seeing his Ari and Akali. But I think he plays a lot of Galio, right? There's people saying he plays a lot of Galio as well. As well as the was it Anivia? I've seen him play some Anivia, but not much. Oriana? I've never seen this Oriana, so I don't know. Azir, Ryze, Galio. Azir, Oriana, Ryze, Corki, Galio. So many! So many. I mean, I've seen the numbers video, right? He played over half the champs in mid. So Ryze is his historical pick. LeBlanc is iconic, but champ's not good anymore throughout time. Sad.
However, it's about
Got him again. There's the stun, there's the volley slow, and all the damage they could possibly need. Gorilla gets the kill. Nothing Wolf could have done outside of getting out of the lane entirely.
SKT have to change things up in this next one because they tried round 2 of the Misfortune lane. They lost again.
이번에는 미포랑 니달리랑 제이스 할 거거든? 제안아 좀만 더 집중해봐. 지금 아예 나갔어 완전. 반대로 되게 마지막이니까 이런 얘기 하는데 혼내는 게 아니라 팀이 좋아서 그렇게 된 걸 수도 있는데 제일 많이 훈호이가 또 잘해주고 있는 거 보니까 많이 가슴 아프더라고.
Oh, this reminds me. Oh my god, this is the LGD incident, the wash your face incident. Again, I'll put it in the edit. LGD coach basically told one of the players because he noticed the player was yawning during draft. So after that game, which they lost, the coach told him to just go wash your face. You're yawning so much. Go wash your face. Then that player was like, I don't need it. It's the same vibes.
Bengi, who'd been sitting on the bench since he helped the team to a Game 1 victory. Part of the reason for that was that Blank had been the starter for much of the year, but it was also that Bengi had never played a professional game on Nidalee, one of the patch's most important junglers and one of Rock's Peanuts' signature picks. But unbeknownst to almost everyone, Bengi was ready to play her.
니달리 먹을까요? 니달리 먹어도 돼. 성우아, 니달리 연습했는데 한번 먹자. 부담스러우면 넘겨도 돼. 먹을게요. 먹자. 먹는 게 나을 것 같아. 방어.
Nidalee was unbanned, so Bengi has to play the Nidalee, and it gives Ash Zyrus straight over to Rock's Tigers.
나 잠깐 나 전판 이거 하나 못 봤어. 애쉬 못 봤어. 애쉬 먹었어야 되는데. 성우아, 이거 형이 애쉬를 하나 못 봤어. 진짜 미안하다. 네. 처음이다. 이렇게 정신 못 차렸다. 성우아, 잘해봅시다. 성우아 보여줘. 니달리 무서움 한번 보여줘.
They know they can get spotted here.
They're going for Kuro. Double bomb on a Kuro. Shell's gonna land
Graphics are pretty recent now.
First blood in for Faker. Over the wall goes Bengi, and so far, so good for the first pick Nidalee. Getting away from it all, and the bombs aren't gonna land either. But the turret's so low, and Bengi wants to dive. He's got one, and SKT are breaking this one apart now. And now it could be dangerous. Wolf's gonna die in a couple more shots.
Oh my god, what are those heals?
Bengi shuts him out anyway.
He gets spotted by Bengi. Good spot by Bengi
again anyway. A quick root on Gorilla. Goodbye. Look for the harass, got hit in return, and now the double bomb forcing the flash of Kuro, the stun, and a Faker not gonna matter, because he already had the ulti off the side, and Bengi again, and this could be the game-winning play right now. Kuro's got nothing left to do. Sure, he can pop the Guardian Angel, but what does it even matter? It's a 4-for-0, it's the ace, it's the game.
And Bengi subs back in, he saves SKT, now we're going to Game 5.
And in Game 5, SKT were able to bring it home, to qualify for the World's Finals. Though everyone had expected Samsung to roll over, they put up a tough competition and took it all the way to 5
This stage
games.
was insane.
But in the end, tough finals.
It's a giant cube.
Though everyone had expected Samsung to roll over, they put up a tough competition and took it all the way to 5 games. But in the end, Samsung crumbled under the pressure, and SKT were champions once again.
Oh, he's growing into the hair now. He's growing into it.
Again.
Crown's able to flash so he doesn't get caught, but Cube's down!
And it's a war of attrition, they're just waiting for them in a fight!
Duke flashes forward, chomps down to kill Crown. SK Telecom have got 2, make that 3 kills. The curtain call is a fitting end to the World Championship as Samsung Galaxy are being dove under their tower. SK Telecom have overcome every challenge. They are the undisputed best team in the world. The SKT reign continues. They win their 3rd World Championship.
No other organization has ever won back-to-back World Championships until Koma's SKT squad. The dynasty he created had broke ground in almost every way, and Koma's strict, effective coaching was just one aspect of that. Koma took some of the most talented players that the game has ever seen and elevated them. He turned stars into superstars, winners into legends. 2017 began with another domestic victory and another MSI championship. And amid the success, Koma had settled into his role as a fatherly figure on a new team with young, brash players like Huni and Peanut.
He does look like...
he had to temper their play.
그냥 다른 라인이랑 상관없이 너 너무 지금 많이 심각한 거 같아. 네.
Damn.
좀 긴장할 필요 없는 거랑 집중하는 거랑 그 차이 너무 큰 거 같아. 아무튼 네가 극복해야 되는 거니까. 만약에 타라인에서 무너지잖아. 그냥 뭐 하려고
He's like a disappointed Asian dad. I mean, that's probably exactly what he is, but you know, just saying these things straight up. Sometimes it is like, if you know they can handle it, right? You kind of gotta be direct, because otherwise, it's you don't have to sugarcoat things. Just ugh. Drop the vid in your Discord for another time. Alrighty, I'll put it in the list. Figure stopped spamming Oriana since Fearless was introduced, I think there was a series he played all 5 games with Ori. Damn. That was the Bengi Savior series. Peanut my goat. Bengi's my jungle goat. Canyon has a resume, but recently has been shaky. Who would be the best jungler? Like if you were to pick a jungler to be inducted into the Hall of Legends, who would it be? Because like they already have a mid Faker, they have a ADC Uzi. I'm assuming because a lot of people have been saying it's gonna be Caps. From I don't know what role Caps plays, but yeah. Faker's Lillian, that was a classic. Champ is like Tinker. Tinker in League. Ew. Eyes on SKT after this? I could. Love seeing the younger Peanut, so different. Prime Canyon or Peanut or Bengi? Bengi, Peanut for longevity. Caps is mid. He's Faker of West basically. So I'm guessing they're inducting based on region and not on roles anymore. Cause okay, so if it's it could be Bengi or it could be Peanut. Who for support? Like who's gonna be inducted for support and who's gonna be inducted for top? If there was. It's hard to ignore Carrier, right? Carrier's support. Cause he's been so good for so long, but I don't know if his career before that is like you know, Mata. Bengi is the literal right-handed goat. Mata and Mako. These are names I probably won't ever know unless someone makes a documentary about them and I watch it. Ryan will not induct an active player. Faker was a special case. Caps is still active, right? Wasn't he in I forgot, the G2 or something, I think? But I guess is it gonna be announced in MSI? Is like the next inductee gonna be announced in that event, or is it? The Caps is in G2, yeah. Mata, the 2014 world champion. It isn't confirmed yet, yeah. So it's just speculation. Perks instead of Caps. Mata is one of the T1 coaches. Revolutionize support and division game. That's that's pretty fucking important.
하지 말고 그냥 천천히 하고 그냥 어차피 성장형 캐릭이나 좋은 캐릭터 무조건 지금 주고 있잖아. 그냥 천천히 뭐 하려고 하지 마 제발. 애매하다 싶으면 안 써도 돼. 그냥 하지 마. 너 뭐 오늘 보여줄 거 없어. 만약 보여주면 결승에서 보여줘. 너가 만약에 못하면 얘까지 무너져서 너무 이거 좀만 생각해. 어차피 좋은 싸움이나 이거는 위에서 돼서 그냥 뭐 그냥 라인전에만 신경 써서 너무 두 개 생각하지 마.
Sometimes he had to deal with questionable life decisions, like the time Peanut decided to turn on his stream after a late night of drinking.
아, 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
I heard about this. I heard about this.
쬐끔 먹었어요, 쬐끔.
He had to go turn off his stream, right?
왜 오셨어요?
이거 완전
왜요?
잘못했어요? 뭐 잘못한 거 없지?
네네, 잘못한 거 없죠. 코치님, 근데 잘못한 거 오늘은 없는데 예전엔 많이 있잖아요.
그럼 일단 방송 꺼봐. 방송 끄고 들어볼까?
들어가세요. 빠이. 안녕히 계세요.
너무 뛰어왔습니다.
다음에 봬요.
너무 뛰어왔잖아.
화장실 넘어가고 싶어.
I forgot when I heard about this, but I've seen this before.
As he always did, Koma made new pieces fit into SKT's winning
He's
mold.
literally their dad, dude. He's just bailing them out of trouble. Oh man, kid got drunk and you started live streaming? What is this? In 2026 he'll probably go viral, not gonna lie. Oh, Peanut's the dude who went to military. He recently retired, right? I guess. Yeah, I've seen the retirement clip where he thanked everyone and he went off to military. Most likely during finals or of MSI or after. Peanut drunk stream. 2017 SKT is so good, but no one wants to play weak side. Everyone wants to be the main character because they're kind of in their primes. Well, that's like the super team kind of deal, right? Everyone has egos because they're all really good. Unfortunate. Happens in Dota as well. All the time.
But eventually, everything comes to an end. By the time SKT made it to yet another world championship, the cracks were beginning to show. They were pushed to the brink by Europe's misfits in the quarterfinals.
If I had to state one reason that why we lost game 2 and 3 is, I think the fault was on me. I think I should have been able to see it through of how the game should have went, and I should have made some better decisions. And I think I should have been a better coach.
And they took more body blows against a surging RNG.
But Uzi's trying to stay alive. The barrier in. He's still surviving. And now he's turning it around. Looking for Blake. Looking for the chase down now on the bank. Pop Yogi's stun gonna land. One or two of men, but Faker gonna join. Flashes forward. They won't quite catch up Blake, but now it's the Galio's turn to get the damage across. Shields coming in.
Bro, Uzi is insane, huh? I don't know much of Uzi's plays, but between the Vayne play and what happened there, he's like if Zeus was an ADC. Because Zeus plays like an insane person as well, from what I've seen.
거기서만 사고 안 났으면 이겼지. 그래서 너무 아쉬워. 주도권 못 잡는다. 다 그냥 후회 없이만 해. 맞게 이미 뭐 유리한 게임 뭐 역전당해서 이제는 우리 준비해온 거 다 보여주고 이제 뭐 반반 이런 식으로 나가야 돼서 좀 실수 덜 나오는 게 좋을 것 같아.
Koma and SKT would eventually claw their way back, taking the series in a grueling 5th game. But by the time they reached the finals, it looked like there was no gas left in the tank, and Samsung Galaxy outclassed them.
And Samsung Galaxy pushed mid first. You can see the flash ult left. They've caught Faker. They've got the CC. The mid laner is down. The unkillable Demon King has done just that. In the moment of truth, they flash on Faker, and they take out the heart of SK Telecom. Or that might be the flash R that signals the end of the SKT dynasty. The upset is complete as the kills come through. The SKT dynasty is over. All hail the new kings. Samsung Galaxy, your 2017 World Champions!
Oh, that was the year. Oh, yeah, I remember this.
It was a brutal loss for the game's most decorated team, but for many fans and analysts, it seemed inevitable that they would bounce back. SKT might have fallen down, but they always managed to climb back to the top.
Well, I think what is happening right here is that SKT is pissed.
Yo, Yamato Cannon.
Be freaking pissed, and I think coming into the next season, they're going to come in with a roster that's going to be scarier than before. And when that day comes, you know, people will be like, "Holy moly, look at that SKT roster!" You know,
damn, really young Yamato Cannon.
A force to be reckoned with, and this is going to just, you know, people have awoken the dragon.
But it didn't happen that way.
So, how good was Yamato Cannon? I watched his streams recently because he joined Grubby's Warcraft 3 tournament, as well as Hera's planning an Age of Empires 2 tournament as well. He's joining that. So the first exposure I've had of Yamato Cannon is that he's a really quick learner of these like strategy games, and I think he was the coach of Lost Ratones, right? Still sad about Peanut, but hey, he's in Faker. He can't skip mandatory military. Yeah, Faker gets to skip military service and BTS doesn't. I still remember that. It's insane. Uzi is insane. Yes. They're drafting Eagle picks. They got screwed by pocket picks of enemy mid laner. That was pretty. Oh, but they didn't ban it. Pretty known, but they didn't ban it. If you like crazy ADCs, Pays is to your liking. I've seen Pays play. He's insane as well. But Pays is known for Caitlyn. And I don't vibe with Caitlyn, unfortunately. I don't know how to play her after mid game. After laning phase, pretty much. SKT RNG is when Faker used Galio to 1v9. This was the best Faker 1v9. I don't know if it's still right now. Faker Galio always destroys LPL. LPL gets shivers when Faker picks Galio now. They didn't have a scarier roster after that year. They had young rookies that couldn't keep up. He was one of the goated coaches of the West. That's good to know. But yeah, that's pretty much my only exposure to Yamato Cannon is that he joined a Warcraft 3 tournament, almost won it, and for the grand finals he had to play on the same day as the wedding anniversary with him and his wife. So his wife is like, yeah, it's fine, just postpone it to next week. But he plays like an absolute madman though. The way he just invests all his time, 16-17 hour a day streams just to learn Warcraft 3 to like even get a chance to win that tournament. And he's doing the same in Age of Empires now, which is fucking insane. Yeah. Is Fearless Draft not implemented in Dota tourneys yet? Never. So Fearless Draft is, it's not blind, right? Blind is when you can't see the enemy. So Fearless is if you have picked a champion in that series, you can't pick it anymore. Is that what Fearless is? Pace holds the highest kill in any game with his Kalista. Damn. Kalista ADC. I've seen Kalista support, but not ADC yet. So yeah. Okay, Fearless is that. So there's no such thing in Dota. You generally, what happens is you go into a tournament because different regions have different metas, right? So you go into an international tournament, the meta is gonna shift, and the teams that adapt to it, or the teams that know how to play the heroes that are really good in that meta, they tend to come up on top, of course. But generally, you just ban all the good heroes and you try not to get cheesed. That's pretty much it. There's no fearless drafting in Dota. There was once a Russian and Ukrainian team that they pretty much played like it's fearless. Their carry played, I don't know how many champs, how many heroes at TI, and they won the whole thing. And that was like the highest grossing TI. Every game he played a different hero. He never used the same one twice. Kalista support, have you only seen carrier play? I've never really watched pro plays with Kalista in it. But I've had a Kalista support in a few of my games and it never turns out right. It never turns out good. Yeah, I picked already permanently banned the whole series. Yeah, never happens in Dota. Dota doesn't have this rule. But I think we also have, I'm not familiar with the pick ban system in Pro League. I don't know if it's the same as a draft pick or whatever, but you do get a lot more bans in Dota. So yeah. Is Coma, I gotta rewatch it after this. I'll probably post up the video sometime next week. Because your teammates aren't carrier. Yeah. If carrier was my support, I would have a much easier time as well. But you know, he would probably be very tilted because I'm dog shit at the game. So this was MSI 2025 and the whole 2015-16 very popular. All regions have the same meta but different reads. Some champs are better in some regions because of their playstyles. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's hard, right? Because league patch every 2 weeks, right? So there's so many changes that you can hardly keep up.
2018 was the darkest year in SKT's storied history. They placed 4th in the spring playoffs. And after his team was eliminated from the spring split, Koma found himself on the longest, albeit unexpected, break of his career.
이렇게 긴 휴식기는 일하면서 거의 처음이었었고요. 휴가 이제 처음 받았던 날에 한 2, 3일까지는 좀 너무 힘들었었어요. 그래서 좀 처음에는 뭘 한다 해도 스트레스가 풀리지 않더라고요. 그냥 일하다 보니까 좀 시간이 다 해결해 주는 것 같아요. 근데 그 기간만큼은 정말 좀 말로 표현할 수 없을 정도로 많이 힘들어요.
Then they fell all the way to 7th in the
You
summer
know who
split.
has the same kind of problems? I don't think, like, if you're working a normal job, I think if you retire, maybe some people will feel like you kind of lost purpose. But for entertainers specifically, for musicians, for performers, maybe, I don't know if actors feel the same, wrestlers and musicians, because you're so used to performing in front of a crowd that if you don't get that high after you like start taking a break, you kind of focus your attention elsewhere, and you look for highs somewhere else, and that usually develops into really bad addictions. So I guess he kind of feels the same way because he's a workaholic, right? To suddenly take a break after so long, it's like a foreign world, an alien universe where you're not used to even not thinking about League. Meta in League is the same because other regions just copies the Korean teams and read on the meta. Oh. Korean's always ahead of meta. For some reason, NA EU are the same meta but different style. So what is the general perception of each region's playstyle? If there is one. Because I think Korea, from what I've seen of the streams, the streamers that I'm watching, they just love fighting. They're fight junkies, all of them. They want to fight all the time. Whereas maybe other regions are a lot more passive. Could have been a Korean artist, chose to be an esports coach. It worked though. EU NA finds a meta first, Korean perfects the shit out of it. When I was coaching, I had to read the past 8 to 10 patches to look for broken picks that got forgotten or misunderstood. Wouldn't say that's consistent, at least the later metas usually feels lacking, but probably I miss a few series. 8 to 10 patches of the specific champion. Patches are hard, dude. Numbers, so many numbers. And sometimes, I don't know if it's the same as Dota. Dota doesn't have frequent patches. In fact, I would say Dota has like a minor patch once every few months and maybe a major patch once every year. So what happens is some champs, some heroes that are OP, they're gonna get nerfed to shit. Maybe to the point of being unplayable. Then some heroes are gonna get buffed because they're not being picked as much. And sometimes that leads to the untouched heroes being really viable picks now because, you know, the nerfed heroes, maybe they're really good against them. The buffed heroes, maybe they're really good against them. So a lot of things you have to consider, right? At least when I watched Pro Dota, that's usually what happens. The fight region is LPL. Korea is macro. LEC is like LPL but worse mechanics. Oh. One thing for sure, China is not the same as any other region. So China Dota has a reputation of being really passive. So I guess that's like the complete opposite of what China League is. Because China Dota, back in the days at least, nowadays China Dota is pretty much dead. They have like a couple teams, but it's filled with old heads that can't really do much anymore. So China Dota is known as, they kind of play the same style as the protect the puppy strat that Uzi's team had, but it's in a lot more passive way. You just let the carry farm for 20 minutes, don't give a shit, protect him at all cost, and he'll carry the game. But it's a lot longer. Sometimes it goes to pretty late. Sometimes it goes over 40-50 minutes, maybe even an hour, without any kills happening on the map. So changed over the years. EU loves cheese picks, and he likes picking comfort picks even though they're no longer meta. If you think Korea's chaotic, LPL's crazier. Only international tournament patches really changes metas. To be clear, there are also common placebo buffs or nerfs that get misunderstood a lot in League. That is true. That is true. And sometimes you see numbers go up or numbers go down and you immediately just don't want to pick them anymore. Or you immediately think they're viable.
By the time the regional finals rolled around, SKT missed out on Worlds entirely for only the second time in the organization's history. As the coach, Koma has always shouldered the blame for his team's failings. And throughout a year of disappointing results, he seemed to grow more withdrawn as the year went on. This year, more than any before, he felt the pressure of being on SK Telecom.
조금 내려놔도 될 것 같아요, 저는. 너무 이 무게감에 자기가 말 한마디 이거 잘못했을 때 오는 파장이 크다 보니까 더 조심스럽게 하는 것 같은데 조금 그 짐을 내려놓고 조금 본인의 평소 때 모습이 좀 나왔으면 좋겠어요. 방송이건 감독으로서건. 그래서 본인도 조금 편안하게 지냈으면.
For years, there's been a running joke in the Korean scene about Koma's marital status. Friends, players, and fans have told the longtime coach he should settle down and get married, especially since he's approaching his mid-30s.
What's wrong with not getting married in your mid-30s? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
넌 정석 왜 맞췄어? 저 결혼식장이랑 그냥 하나 맞추려고. 글로 가려고? 땅이나. 결승장 가야지 클럽을 가. 나가라. 정장이고 클럽. 야, 이 자식아, 정장이고 클럽 가야.
코치 결혼 vs 훈이 10kg 감량 뭐가 더 쉬울까요?
우리 코치님 언제 웨딩 멀치 하시려나? 와이프 자리가 블랭크인데 말이지. 블랭크? 기가 막힌 여자분 한 번 있는데 소개시켜드릴까?
And though it's mostly in good fun, a 2018 OGN interview with longtime friend and caster Dangkun did shine some light on the toll that year took on him.
난 내가 그거 다 하는데 할 거 다. 뭘 다? 너는 저 혼자 하니까 그렇지. 그러니까 부럽다. 부럽다. 형 보면 정말 행복해 보여. 너에 비하면 행복하지.
How are they filming this? Is the cameraman just like... is that what it is? Or is it a drone shot or is it what? Like, Jesus.
In the off-season, Koma switched roles within SKT, moving to head coach. Though he would no longer be the coach appearing on stage with his team, the promotion gave him the chance to build the team he wanted for 2019. According to reports from Inven Global, they went after Teddy early on, securing the much-lauded Jin Air ADC. When the dust had settled on the off-season, SKT's roster boasted Khan, Klid, and Mata, in addition to Faker's always shining star. It was a powerhouse roster, one that Faker called a team of aces. And though many younger teams put up impressive results in spring 2019, SKT reclaimed their
Damn,
throne.
bro, this is like esports girls' generation, man. Holy, look at the amount of people in this. Once a Vladimir buff that wasn't actually implemented due to some issues with his win rate increased. What the fuck? A lot of Vietnamese and Thais hated Koma for saying he's the reason why T1 players feel pressured and underperforming. That's crazy though. Cringe pushing people into marriage. Exactly. Koma went to LGD in China because his wife is Chinese? He's walking walk. I don't see a dolly track. It's just doing this then, man. 2019 Super Team. There's Mata. He played with Faker as well towards the end of his playing career. So he retired already then, I guess. Placebo Vlad buff was funny as fuck. 2019 Super Team into getting eliminated by G2 twice. Well, not the LPL, I guess.
They toppled Griffin in a one-sided finals and earned another shot at the international stage.
See your death and see your defeat in the LCK final for Spring 2019. Spring often does this to us, gentlemen. We often get
Why
quick
does...
ones in the early stages of the
Is
year.
that Ezreal with the weird-ass football player skin?
3-0 over Griffin after their incredible first round robin.
Give them their moment to bask in the afterglow. SKT have destroyed Team Griffin to register their spot at the mid-season invitational and also.
Sadly, MSI was not SKT's tournament to win. Despite a strong showing in groups, SKT fell in the bracket stage against Europe's G2. For a team that many Korean hopefuls believed could win it all, MSI was a failure. Still, for Koma, the success in his first domestic split as head coach meant the world. And for the fans that had stuck by SKT through a shaky 2018, it meant everything.
이제 너
There's no other
What
coach
are they
in League of
chanting?
Legends who can inspire a crowd to chant their name like that. There's no other coach who could tame, who could help to perfect the greatest player of all time, who could mold the greatest team ever.
He's teaching arts, how to make the art in League of Legends, not teaching League of Legends. That's what I felt when I just joined SKT. It was completely different when I think the League of Legends, just playing the game. Like in Summer's Rift, there's
Damn.
Como art, and then he's drawing with a player, and I just following his, order.
No coach is as decorated. No coach is as dedicated. No coach is Koma.
Damn.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the
Dude.
sub button.
I actually really loved the score, but ever since they folded, I don't know what website they've become now. It's either a gambling website or a sports website or something like that. I don't really know. But their esports division folded. Before that, I think a lot of my league stuff that I've seen is actually through them, because they do make a lot of stuff like this as well. They do make Dota stuff as well, and they cover it pretty well. I think they had a couple of guys that were super into Dota, and they made some pretty good documentaries on Dota as well for people who are not necessarily familiar with the Dota players. Unfortunate, it is what it is, but that documentary is pretty nice. Maybe one day we'll watch this as well. Or I do have the T1 Worlds behind the scenes last year vlog that I can watch, but that is also an hour plus. So eventually, I think the world stuff I'm gonna leave to until we're close to Worlds, So that's way that way is more hype, right? Especially the world cinematics and all that, and the opening ceremonies. Dimitri is a Dota fan. Yeah, kind of remember his name. Eyes on SKT. All eyes on me. This team has so much potential. He's the coach for T1. Oh, Mata's the coach for T1 now. Okay, one of the coach. Mata went to Gen G to coach for some years until joining the T1 coaching staff to reunite with the team again. Is he a good coach though? Cause you know, like I mentioned at the start, some players don't necessarily make good coaches, and some coaches don't necessarily make good players. Because communication, right? Score Esports has been memed every time when they upload a T1 video or Faker video. That means they are low on funds. I mean, I can understand it after what I'm going through, dude. I was stuck on 200 plus subs for God knows how long, and as soon as I made the Faker video, I got fucking 200 subs. I can understand it. Feedback for SEA gameplay from Europe. 250 MS hits hard, but not as bad as I thought. You actually tried? You're crazy, bro. They laid off a bunch of people from the esports division around 6 months ago. Don't think they put out a public statement. Yeah, so this division is pretty much gone. They stopped uploading completely. So the channel died as well, which is pretty sad. How many world songs have you heard? I've heard pretty much all of them. If there's one thing that I tune into, it's always the opening ceremonies as well as the songs. So all the songs I know. I'm like I said before, I'm not even into K-pop, but I think the K-pop stuff that they produced was pretty freaking good. Oh, first one, yeah. He was part of a world champion coaching staff last year. T1 coaching staff are all previous T1 players. Carrie has been looking good recently too, could be with Mata's help. Carrie is insane. Koma was a player? He was, I think. Like he was a StarCraft pro, but then he swapped over to League. And he played for a little bit, but he was coaching pretty much. Level 5 already. This is the new e-score. Oh no. I watch videos. I don't make videos. Here's the thing, right? I feel bad because I don't necessarily like doing reaction content. Of course, I like watching all these documentaries and learning all about these people and learning the history behind the esports and everything. But reaction content is lazy content. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm doing reaction content. It is lazy content because I don't need to be the one who's making the video, doing the research, fucking everything. I just watch it and I say things, and if it has a reference to Dota that I can make, I make it. It's unfortunate that it is the easiest way to earn subs. It is, reaction content is like the easiest way to get your numbers up and get people watching. I don't like it. It's just a game, unfortunately. Like if you're streaming, it's just what you do. Eyes on SKT 2015 or 2016? Told me the first one, so first one. So 9 years ago though, damn. 2016. Most players around Faker's time are amateur StarCraft pros. Korea. Love the Linkin Park and against the current songs. Linkin Park, yeah, Heavy as the Crown was freaking amazing. Love to see you go through some Worlds teasers. I'll go through that near Worlds, because I think that's the best time to do it for hype. I agree, I do the same reaction to lazy, but it works. Yeah, as long as you're not going XQC reaction. I'm not doing fucking I'm not getting into political shit, dude. I'll make jokes sometimes, but ain't no way I'm going the Asmongold Hassan XQC route. I think that's a way to invite mental damage. So yeah, this Eyes on SKT 2016 World Championships. I don't really know what it is, but I mean the description already tells you what it is. Follows the SK Telecom T1 on their journey through the 2016 World Championship. Short vlog or behind the scenes kind of thing. I didn't know League did this kind of content back in the day, but apparently they did. So let's have a quick look at this. Is there English subtitles or is it only Korean? Only Korean. 하이야.
우승하고 초 때부터 즐겨본 적은 없는 것 같습니다.
English 주세요.
SKT will be your first ever two-time world champions.
정상의 자리라는 게 이번 연도에 정말 좀 그 자리가 무겁다는 걸 많이 느껴서 올해 초에 스프링 이제 한국 리그 스프링 시작했을 때 1라운드를 7등으로 끝내고 그 정상의 무게를 정말 처음 느껴본 것 같고 그때 7등하고 그 뒤로 스프링을 우승했어요. 스프링, IM, MSI 모든 리그를 우승하고 딱 썸머 하나만 또 결승을 못 갔는데 그때 또 한번 다시 이 정상의 자리 SKT 이 무게를 좀 느껴가지고
After 9 months of competition across all corners of the globe, 16 teams have all converged here in
San Francisco,
California.
Expensive as hell place to be.
Defending world champions SK Telecom T1 have become the first ever League of Legends world champion to make it back to the tournament the following year. They'll begin their title defense here against North America's LCS third seed, Cloud9.
And the crazy thing is, though, they're not necessarily the favorites they were last year. They come in.
말했지만 부담되는 경기야. 져선 안 되는 경기다. 100% 이겨야 되는 경기라 부담 갖고 이겨야 돼. 아까 얘기 뭐 못했는데 어차피 우리 목표 뭐 8강 이런 게 아니라 일단 다 우승 목표로 하고 있어서 절대 지면 안 되는 경기. 그냥 이겨야 되는 경기.
Damn, dude.
처음에는 그냥 좀 주도권이 나가도 상관없는데 아유 편하지? 진짜 편하지?
그냥 많이 해봐.
죽지만 않으면 된다. 어? 텔포까지 안 바래.
죽일 거예요.
뭐?
죽일 거예요.
알았어.
Oh man.
야 와드 하나 되냐? 와드 하나 되냐?
했어요.
땄어.
나이스다, 나이스.
Dude, I cannot imagine like the amount of pressure. We're not even aiming for quarterfinals. We just have to win this. There's no other choice. We just have to win this. It's like the clip that I put with TI1, the first ever international, where the Chinese finalists, I think it was E Home, the coach pretty much just said, if we take second place, we'll throw the trophy into the trash and we'll forfeit the prize money. We don't even care. The only thing we want is first place. And they lost. Oh. I cannot imagine the amount of pressure he's... Maybe Korean communication, right, is different. We don't really know, unless you're Korean, then my bad. But the way they communicate is just so direct. There's no sugarcoating shit. There's no being like there's no, what's it called? Motivation. There's no like hyping your team up. There's no reassuring them that they're gonna be doing a good job or stuff like that. But there's just like, we gotta win this. That's it. You should watch videos about the Messi of League. Is that Baus? I don't know if it is. I've never really seen Baus, but I've seen him mentioned a lot. I always respected Koma. He's funny and kind. Overall strict person when needed. He's an Asian dad, pretty much. Faker and Koma had that same suffocating expectations, just wins and nothing else. That's crazy. This is 2016. That's Baus. maybe one day I'll watch a Bao's video. Like, if there's anything you guys feel it's really good, then just toss a link.
얘 봐. 얘 풀 있음. 브라운. 브라운 이미 잡았어. 오케이 좋다.
야 노플 얘 노플.
얘까지 봐요. 상관없어.
Dude, you know it's serious business when he just writes down on a notepad instead of typing it in a phone or an iPad. It's 2016. They smartphones already exist, so you know it's serious shit. Cause OG did the same thing. Again, I'm referencing OG, of course. They're my favorite team. So OG had the same thing going into the grand finals against LGD, which is a Chinese team. It's a Chinese team versus an English-speaking team. OG had a lot of their draft strategies printed on paper, and during one of the games, one of the LGD players noticed that one of the players in OG was holding onto a stack of papers. So he was like, 妈逼，你拿着这排的纸。It's like, this motherfucker's holding onto a stack of papers. look at that motherfucker. same energy.
We'll take down Cloud9. If we had any questions for SK Telecom, what do they look like? They look good. They look really good. Look like a team intent on winning back-to-back World Championships.
고생했어. 야, 너 오늘 어떻게 텔포 그거 상대가 타고 왔는데도 CS가 똑같다고 주도권 나갔어. 초반에.
그거 네.
어?
Oh man.
왜? 더 해야겠죠.
Was that Sneaky? Sneaky's in C9, right?
야, 보이스 다 들려 여기서 보면은. 콜. 근데 너도 할 수 있는 건 다 했어. 콜
Dude, that's the.
텔 복귀해서 그거 잘했어. 콜 계속 해준 거. 할 수 있는 게 그 최선이었어. 잘했어.
Dude, this is Asian parent expectations, dude. You get an A in your science papers, and he's like, "Why don't you get 100?" Yeah, you could have done better. Why didn't you answer this question correctly? I'm sure you knew it. I can't imagine, dude. It's like you win a game, and that's like the first thing he greets you with. Oh man. Faker's still the youngest among his teammates in this roster. He is, right? Image of Coma sitting there with a notebook is insane. Analyst coaching team of a world's winning org. Nowadays there's dozens of people for orgs. It goes, oh my god. Heard from Cadril there will be a Lost for Tones documentary from Red Bull. I cannot wait for that. Free content. Gumayushi's brother is innovation for StarCraft, by the way. Oh! I'm not too familiar with a lot of StarCraft pros, but I've heard of innovation for sure. This Cole was sitting there, he was doing all the things back then, but now they have other staffs doing the work for him. It's good to have people, like, not only taking some of the burden off your shoulders, but at the same time giving different opinions, right? Because there might be things that you can't spot by yourself. And he's been doing that for like however long he's been doing it, which is insane. So he might miss some things. Like even in the last video that we've seen, he's like, I fucked up. I shouldn't have let that Ashe pass. We should have picked it ourselves. So there's just sometimes he misses things as well. It's good to have different perspectives and opinions. What is the face of C9? Asian fatherhood, but it works. Drill to your core, but it definitely works. Hiya, don't remind me. Innovation, Faker, and Gumayushi are all related. What the fuck? Faker is a distant relative to Innovation and Gumayushi's family. Jesus. That family is like what? Made for esports. They have gamer blood. My god. All the next generation, just tell them to invest into Deadlock. Just go full Deadlock. or Mobile Legends Bang Bang, whatever it's called.
더 잘해야죠. 너 잘했어 하다가 끝난다 게임.
All right, ladies
Okay,
and
why?
gentlemen, start the 2000.
I'm sorry for pausing so much.
너 잘했어.
Just wait. Why you gotta duck?
하다가 끝난다 게임.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the 2016 quarterfinals group draw. Wild Turtle, will you please do the honors?
The team drawn is RNG. They will now play against SKT on the top left of the bracket. The drawn team is EDG. They will be facing up on the bottom left of the bracket against the ROX Tigers.
잘 됐어. 야 긍정적으로 생각해. EDG 안 만난 게 어디야? 다음에 만나잖아요. 너가. EDG를 왜 만나? 락스를 만나겠지. 그래서 한국도 만나면 더 편하고. 야 4강만 이기면은 우승이네.
I'm in it just to rewrite history, cause I'm in the mood to label us the leaders of the new school. This ain't for the radio, can't find this on YouTube. This the type of killing that
I found this on YouTube. What do you mean? Chicago. Again, I'm pausing, but thinking of Chicago, the only thing I'm thinking about right now, because it's dinner time, it's 8:30 p.m. for me, so it's well past dinner time, and I'm only like looking at Chicago. I'm just thinking about deep dish pizza. I know it's gonna be heavy as hell, but I would devour at least 2 slices. I would eat the shit out of it. Esports bloodline. They just have the pedigree. It's like Sunday silence. Secretariat. Koma here is scolding Duke from his teleport. He lost so much EXP and tempo from his laner because EXP is so much more important than gold top lane. Ah. EXP is more important than gold. So yeah. Well, I get it, but it's like it's so harsh though, right? Just Asian parenting, like full blast. Those were the days. Korean teams are much more comfy for SKT to face. Now it's Chinese teams. Seeing Young Bang here in 2016 and now seeing Bang getting married to Jisun, which was the LCK interviewer. Jisun is the one who... Was she the one who introduced the MSI pick'ems? Because I watched the pick'ems video on Casual Stream, but I think that was her. We have the same time zone as ICA. I'm from Malaysia, dude.
One, send my regards. It's gonna be the rematch of Worlds last year. ROX hoping to get revenge on SK Telecom Team 1.
Tried to overlook a rival. All eyes on me cause I got no competition. Now looking at it.
Pray.
You're doing long enough to pay for my attention.
There's not many people that would disagree that the winner today comes in heavy favorites at the final, whether it is ROX or SKT. So playing for that, playing for everything.
New York. Damn, how expensive was the tickets?
코치일에 있어서 근데 경력이 생겨서 노하우도 생기긴 했지만 선수들도 경력도 생기고 해서 좀 강약 뭐라고 해야 되지? 뭐 당근과 채찍 이렇게 주는 게 더 힘들어져가지고 더 아무튼 힘들어지는 것 같습니다.
얘들아 이거 되게 좋게 나왔고 어차피 5경기까지 갈 수도 있고 3판 이겨야 되는 거니까 멘탈 나가지 말고 잘해 얘들아.
Fighting.
Just win 3 for hit.
Fortune is being played at the semifinals of the World Championship. Seeing arrows land on the Wolf, and it's just going to be too much damage too fast.
It's this one.
Answer back with game 2.
얘들아 니 많이 힘들어?
No, it's fine.
미통 상관없는 거야? 네.
Got him again. There's the stun, there's the volley slow, and all the damage they could possibly need. And it's 2-1 ROX Tigers. They are 1 game away from breaking the curse.
SKT have to change things up in this next one because they tried round 2 of the Misfortune lane. They lost again.
근데 이번에는 미포랑 니달리랑 제일 쌀 거거든? 나는 죽여보자. 대안아 좀만 더 집중해봐. 지금 아예 나갔어 완전. 반대로 되게 좀 마지막이니까 이런 얘기 하는데 혼내는 게 아니라 반대로 뭐 픽이 좋아서 그렇게 된 걸 수도 있는데 제일 많이 호성이가 또 잘해주고 있는 거 보니까 많이 가슴 아프더라고요.
SKT has elected for blue side here in game 4, as well as the option to sub in Bengi for Blank.
On blue side, remember, with Bengi in, they do not have a Nidalee player. You cannot give Peanut Nidalee. We talked about how you need adaptation, and now you're forced to ban Nidalee on blue side, which further constricts your options.
니달리를 살리는 게 니달리 살릴 거 이거 우리 뱅카드 하나 남다 완전 좋다.
니달리 먹을까요?
니달리 먹어도 돼요. 성우아, 니달리 연습했는데 한번 먹자. 부담스러우면 넘겨도 돼.
먹을게요.
먹자. 먹는 게 나을 것 같아. 박어.
Nidalee was unbanned, so Bengi has to play the Nidalee, and it gives Ash Zyrus straight over to Rox Tigers.
나 잠깐 나 전판 이거 하나 못 봤어. 애쉬 못 봤어. 애쉬 먹었어야 되는데. 성우아, 이거 형이 애쉬를 하나 못 봤어. 진짜 미안하다. 네. 처음이다. 이렇게 정신 못 차렸다. 성웅아
잘해봅시다.
성웅아 보여줘. 니달리 거 무서움 한번 보여줘. 얘들아 파이팅!
Fighting! How has Bengi been able to train his Nidalee? He's not known as a Nidalee player. They're picking it in what could be an elimination game.
Madison Square Garden. Damn.
Double bomb on a Kuro. Javelin's gonna land this time, and he's gonna get the damage. Yes, he is. First blood in for Faker.
He's out.
Over the wall goes Bengi, and so far, so good for the first pick Nidalee. Because they already had the ulti off in time. Bengi lands the Javelin.
Bengi subs back and he saves SKT. Now we're going to game 5.
막판 잘해봅시다.
잘해봅시다. 나이스 좋다.
Said it before, I'll say it again. I know the song is deeply rooted into League history, but I don't like it. This part is fine. You know, the that part is fine, but when it hits the dubstep part, I'm just like, I feel the need to mute it. So I don't like dubstep. Bengi Nidalee. The city's burned by now. Peanut's still so young. They banned MF, yeah. I'm Chinese but live here in PH, it's the same time zone. I see. There's a lot of Chinese people in Philippines as well, right? That's her. Okay, so that is Silver Scrapes, yeah. This is what it felt like when Oda first typed Dr. Mundo. I actually saw that, and I think the context was, I think Doran's PC was fucked during the grand finals, and all he could hear while they were fixing his PC in the comms was that I think Faker was explaining Dr. Mundo's skills to Owner. And Doran was like, huh? Y'all, what y'all doing? What y'all thinking?
Bengi's back in this final game of the series.
얘들아 지더라도 후회 없게 하자. 화이팅!
화이팅! No smite right now for Bengi, and it won't be up in time. 2,700, but he can't do it with smite. It's gonna be all about this. He's in the pit. And it's the kill on the Peanut. No smite for either side, and it goes to Spap to try to save the game.
What did he do?
No smite. All about this. He's in the pit, and it's the kill on the Peanut. No smite for either side, and it goes to Spap to try to save the game. But it's so many kills coming through for SKT. Spap cannot pick up Bengi himself. 3-0 against Rox Tigers in the series, and SKT punched their ticket to their third World Final.
competition. Now looking at an idol. Your dough ain't long enough to pay for my attention.
방금 경기가 가장 짜릿했던 경기라고
Oh,
생각하고요.
thank God they slowed it
또한
down.
그 장면을 보면서 이제 이겼다라고 생각했습니다. 그래서 거기서 이제 승기 잡을 걸 알아서 이겼다 이렇게
So they killed the smiter. Like that was the first target, so they couldn't smite the Baron.
오늘 뱅기 선수는 정말 멋있게 너무 잘해줬고요. 뱅기 선수에게도 너무 고맙지만 팀 전체 선수에게도 너무 고맙다는 말을 전하고 싶습니다. 팀 전체가 너무 다 주어진 역할을 다 잘해준 것 같습니다.
Relief?
I wonder if the hotel staff understood what the hell was happening. Why he was behaving like this. They're like, he's on drugs, bro. Too much Adderall. Oh, this is fun. This was fun. It's short, but it's fun. I did not know League did stuff like this, because I always assumed they never did. But LOL Esports has its own YouTube channel. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's why I watched this, so that does make sense. Guys, new content farm. I found a new farm. No other esports has the similar tradition like this. Yeah, I can see it being really cool, right? Whenever you just hit a game 5 and everyone expects silver scrapes, and probably everyone in the arena is gonna sing it. It's gonna be so cool. Still, the dubstep part's cringe, but sometimes the cringe can be endearing. I'm pure Filipino, so I'm closer to that guy. I can only imagine Gen G. Every time I see Gen G and if people type gang, I'm like, gang. You lost the game to a jungler that has zero knowledge of Mundo. Just press your alt, bro. Just press your alt. It will tell you when to use the alt. Guma even said this is your Banky in Italy moment. Filipino. All my bobos out there. All my putang inamos out there. First hit the enemy jungler to lower the chance. Enemy still got it, but got wiped. Yeah. So I was right about the killing the smiter. Let me first jungler inductee for sure. May not be in the discussion, but as the best jungler in the LCK, maybe it belongs to Peanut, but sure as fuck he was the star of Worlds 2016. Almost sure it's Bengi, then Mad Life for support. Watch the retrospecto docu. What retrospecto? Which one? Am I blind? These? Is it these? Silverscript's orchestral version is great. I've seen that, but I didn't click on it yet. I don't know if I'll get copyright struck if I played it now. Eyes on World 2017 is also good. Faker looks like he's gonna do a villain arc after he's lost to Samsung Galaxy. Damn. Dota is more player focused, like how cash prize is high, and League is more consumer focused, since their wallet salaries are already big and had a chance to talk to one. Dota is more player focused. I don't know. I don't really know if that's the case. Dota is, because like the reason the prize pools in TI is that high is because people buy the battle pass, and the battle pass gives 25% of what you paid to the prize pool. So, and they set a paywall for the skins. If you don't pay, you're not gonna get the skins. Plus, I mean, if you don't pay, you're not gonna get the battle pass. But you would have to spend upwards of maybe close to $100 to get all the good skins. And that's why. Then you have, I think there was a lot of literal oil princes, like Arabian oil princes, that bought the battle pass, and they just spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. So that inflated the prize pool as well. But then they stopped, because they said, we don't want paid content. We don't want to force you guys to pay. So, we'll do it for free. They did it for 1 year, and we haven't seen shit since. We're still waiting for the event of TI this year, and it's nothing's been mentioned yet. Bangi was the guy you said left and missed out on 3P. Oh, Bangi was the head coach of T1 from 2022 to early 2023. He left maybe due to the pressure of fans, maybe just personal decision. Oh, now I remember. I don't know why Riot stopped doing documentaries. They should keep doing it because it's fucking great. Have you watched World's Moments and Memories? I can't really watch those yet because I won't understand it. When I get a better hang of the game itself and I understand what the hell's going on, then I'll watch those. Then I'll understand it more. T1 channel, it's not just a LOL video, look it up. T1 retrospectal 20th anniversary. Let me copy that shit. I will put this in the, oh my god, that's 3 hours. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. The T1 Rose Together video, the reaction that I did, I finished editing it. I'm gonna post it up Saturday. I'm still in the process of trying to trim down as much fat as I can, because it is 2.5 hours long. The documentary itself is about 1.5 hours. But with my yapping and additional footage that I put in, it's about 2.5 hours long. Do you guys think it's too long? Should I cut more? Should I cut more of the fat? Because 2.5 hours, I think, not a lot of people are gonna watch it. I'll put this in the list. Okay, this one's. This is what retrospectal. So I still have a lot of stuff to watch, of course, but these are pretty long. MSI teasers from 2025? Not yet. What are you watching next time? Stuff that is here. I have a lot of stuff to watch. Plus, I found a couple of new channels that I can watch stuff from. Bro, B-side? You have more shit? Hi, how's it going? How's it going, my guy? Hope you're having a nice day. History of SK Telecom. Oh, so it's this is the origin story, I guess. It's a good watch eventually. 3 hours is a big commitment though. I gotta find a day where I can actually do it. Jibe Doki will take us 2 months for you. Yeah. That's another thing. 2019 G2 documentaries. There's wasn't there someone told me to watch this as well, DRX The Rise. I don't know what's up with that. Teamfight Breakdown SKT EDG is only 8 minutes. Is that the I mean, I could watch it. I just don't really think I'll understand it. 8 years ago, damn. So is it this one? Yeah, I could watch it. So I'll watch this, and then I'll watch the K-Droll explains how MSI works, and then I'll probably call it for now. But yeah, we'll watch these two. Let's see what this is. I don't know what this is, but this was the year that Faker lost,
This
like
week on the
T1
Breakdown,
lost. So
we're gonna look at the record-breaking comeback by reigning world champions SK Telecom T1 in their Week 1 matchup against EDG. Orchestrating a comeback requires complete understanding of the situation, as well as the perfect setup and execution. SKT demonstrated all of these as they staged one of the greatest comebacks that Worlds has ever seen. Compositionally, EDG are at an early game advantage. They drafted an aggressive jungler.
I know two. That's Cho'Gath. I think it's Cho'Gath. Oriana. I know 4.
And have winning lanes across the board. This allows them to dictate the laning phase and begin a snowball. But what this composition lacks is a true tank. It instead uses Janna to buy space for her double marksman and draw out favorable fights or reset unfavorable ones.
Double
SKT's
marksman
composition loses lane, but has superior scaling as well as an ample amount of engage and crowd control to find and combo in teamfights. As SKT hit the mid game, they have 0 kills.
So I'm looking at this comp, like, give me a sec to see if I can understand what the hell is going on. I don't know what these two do, so I can't say if I know they have any CCs. But Cho'Gath has a lot of CCs, and he's tanky as shit. So maybe team fight wise they're stronger. Maybe individually they are stronger. Is if she buffs 2 of them, they're gonna do massive damage. At least that's from my limited understanding. We can't see the EDG top later, but we can. Where do I put my cam? Where do I shove my face? I can't. Phew, I'm gone. I don't know. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I don't know. Twitch is 4. Is that Twitch? Oh, this is Twitch. Oh, so Twitch is kind of like Venomancer from Dota, right? Poison, a lot of poison, and it stacks, and it hurts, and it makes you cry. Wherever you put it, it'll cover something. Exactly. Exactly. Watch this live on stream. Well, it is what it is.
Combo in team fights. As SKT hit the mid game, they have 0 kills, are down 10,000 gold, and have lost their middle inhibitor.
Oh.
If they let another Baron fall into the hands of EDG, it would most likely be the final nail in the coffin for them. So instead of playing defense and allowing EDG to control the map, SKT create an opportunity to take the game into their own hands. Let's get into it. 27 minutes into the game, and 2 minutes before the Baron respawns, EDG look to push the bottom lane, and Wolf uses this opportunity to ward the pit. EDG want to siege bottom and use the incoming super minions mid to pull a member of SKT away and force down the tier 2 turret. But SKT want to keep EDG bottom for as long as possible. They don't want EDG to have time to reset and establish vision at the respawning objectives. So SKT fully dedicate themselves to clearing the bottom minion wave as a group of 5. SKT are even willing to sacrifice a large portion of the HP on one of their Nexus turrets to continue keeping EDG in the bottom lane. At 28 minutes and 30 seconds, SKT have now stalled long enough to execute their plan. Faker backs and begins pushing the mid lane wave 30 seconds before the Baron spawns, and the rest of the members of SKT give up the bottom lane turret to move towards mid. It wasn't that SKT didn't want to give up their bottom lane turret, they just didn't want to give it up that early. And by letting it fall as Faker shoves out mid, SKT get to establish mid lane priority, and because EDG haven't been on the top side of the map in the last 3 minutes, they don't have any vision on Baron, and SKT know this. SKT push mid and disappear into the unwarded river. This puts EDG in a tough position. EDG can risk approaching the brush that SKT are in, but while they are up 10,000 gold, their composition invests most of that gold into damage and not durability. So instead, EDG threaten to push up mid lane in an attempt to pull SKT back into the center of the map and away from Baron. But what they didn't expect was for SKT to engage on them. As EDG are looking to catch the mid wave, Clearlove sweeps and unburrows to clear a ward, but now his team no longer has Tremor Sense, and this small window is utilized by SKT. As Clearlove goes back into the ground, he's given the information that Bang and Wolf have already begun moving, but it's a moment too late. It's important to note that Wolf shrouded his exit from the mid lane bush. He hugged the wall closely, and this gave him valuable units of unseen movement and hid his intentions from EDG. As Wolf and SKT engage, their primary target is Mako's Janna. Janna is the biggest threat to SKT's team fight because she can disengage and give extra durability to her carries. With that in mind, Wolf presses the quickness, flash, and grand entrance with Mako right in the center of his target location. He catches 3 members of EDG in his charm as iBoy dodges with Featherstorm. Everyone on SKT is ready for this moment, and without hesitation, contributes to the fight. The CC layering has to be perfect. If there's a gap in the combo, it gives Janna an opportunity to flash and Monsoon to save EDG and potentially turn around the fight. Huni preemptively casts Feral Scream and flashes forward to ensure the silence on Mako. Bang opens up with Venom Cask and Spray and Pray for damage, while Peanut flashes forward to land the best possible flag and drag. Faker casts Command Protect on Wolf and then lands a Shockwave on 4 members of EDG while forcing iBoy's flash. There's a brief moment after the initial engage where EDG aren't airborne, but Mako is still silenced from Huni's Cho'Gath and can't flash or Monsoon during that time. He is then instantly pulled into the Shockwave damage and knocked up by both Peanut's Jarvan and Huni's Rupture. The combo from SKT left no counterplay for Mako once he was hit by the first CC, and SKT's priority target drops without being able to press a single ability. Scout's Lucian dies as well, and EDG look to abandon the fight. As Clearlove retreats, he gets cataclysmed by Peanut's Jarvan, which also traps in iBoy, who is now out of escapes. SKT then finish off Clearlove and iBoy, leaving Mouse's Rumble as the only survivor. SKT push and take 2 mid lane turrets, and then rush to the newly spawned Baron. After killing Baron, SKT
So what happened was pretty similar, I think, to TI2. It's in Dota, it's pretty much called the play. And I'll show you guys later. But for now, it's a lot of shit. So Janna just couldn't move. It got CC'd to death and pretty much just insta-killed. And was it because of... It was definitely because of vision, right? And the fact that they grouped up like that. If they didn't group up like that, would it have been better? For sure, right? That champion when underground can sense you even without vision. Only when underground. Oh, so he underground to D-ward, and then he fucked up. Like that was the start of the fuck up, I guess. It's been a signature SKT T1 move to play for Baron as always. The important in this combo is that Cho'Gath use silence first before the SDN. Janna should die here. Ardent Sensor is fucking OP. Oh my god, my team, how can you not react? If Janna dies, she won't be able to cast shields with buff from Ardent Sensor item. Ah. It's just OP that year. Janna had time to react, big IG support tip. Feels bad, man.
Now close the gold gap to just 4,000. And with a composition that outscales and a foot back in the game, SKT's comeback is in full force.
Who cares item diff when item no press?
Looking back, SKT displayed an incredible amount of composure in formulating this comeback. They were down all game, but kept EDG bottom lane until right before Baron spawned, and then used the time they gained to establish a mid lane push and put EDG in an exploitable position. SKT also showed one of the most important elements of orchestrating a comeback: patience. This same teamfight could have happened in the bottom lane during EDG's siege, but the reason SKT didn't look for one is huge. At 27 minutes, SKT had all of their summoners and all of their ultimates available, and between this time and when they actually engaged over 2 minutes later, the only item they purchased was a cloth armor for Peanut. This was not a team fight predicated on an item power spike or a cooldown being up. The reason SKT went for the fight they did was because of the Baron. Winning a single team fight at 27 minutes wouldn't have been enough to get SKT comfortably back into the game. If they had taken a team fight in the bottom lane and won, all they would have gotten is some gold. And even more importantly, EDG would respawn in time to contest the Baron, and SKT would be down crucial ultis and summoner spells. With that teamfight win, 2 turrets, and the Baron, SKT's composition would come online in the late game and grab them the victory at 44 minutes, while still down in kills. This comeback from SKT is historic. No team at Worlds had ever come back from a 10k deficit 25 minutes into the game, since the stat began being tracked.
So did what I say at the start make sense? That during the draft, I can't see the drafts. So I'm kind of blocking it a little bit. Let me move this. So they said Janna buffed the marksman, right? And I don't necessarily know what these two do, so I don't know how heavy their CCs are. But just with Cho'Gath in this, it kind of feels like they already have the advantage. But before that, they didn't. Like they were losing with 0 kills the entire time. But I mean, yeah, right. Teamfight's just stronger with SKT. But what I don't get is, do you absolutely have to play for Baron when you're EDG? Because they're pushing, right?
And this, but while they're up 10,000 gold, EDG bottom for as long as
they were pushing. SKT went back to defend mid and they pushed out mid so they can prep for the Baron fight. But if you are EDG, why wouldn't you just push? Or is Baron that big of a diff that you absolutely need to have it, despite the fact that SKT, like, all 5 of them are alive and they can contest? Usually in League Pro games, they stay in a circle together as a team unless they have an assassin like Akali who needs to find flanks. Ah. Everyone reacted except Janna. And Ori R got everyone. Silence and triple knockup in 3 seconds. I think there was no chance to react from EDG. This version of Rakan was broken. I've seen Rakan from Reckless play in it. the bird dude that keeps flying around. Quick alt combo. You can dash from a point. Can only be reacted in 0.3 seconds. Rumble's burning enemies. There was a hidden stat when Rumble played red side, boosted his win rate. Not every pro knew why Rumble was picked, so here EDG picks Rumble blue side. Ew. EDG played for the early to mid game with the strength of double ADC. T1's comp is teamfight comp. So I got that. Somehow I got that. I'm learning, guys. If this was modern era, they'll rather play it slow and sniff the Baron attempt. Baron can buff the creeps and will delay the lane push. Minions have high magic res. Mindset must be to deny a chance for T1 to get Baron and stall the game, get gold and EXP. Baron used to be so good. So it's a lot different now compared to back then. What Baron gave. It's like, I guess they scouted it, right? SKT knew they were going for Baron. But I don't know. My fickle brain cannot understand why they didn't just continue pushing instead.
SKT displayed an incredible amount.
Or maybe they were worried that because T1 was in the mid, they'll flank and they'll try to fight or something.
composure in formulating this comeback. They were down all game, but kept EDG bottom lane until
But, yeah.
before Baron spawned. And then
I mean,
used the timing
there's a lot of things that could have happened, right? What went down just went down. This game is legendary. Also, the Elder Dragon, before you could summon Elder Dragons using your fuck-ass word. What? SKT actually said it this up minutes earlier, like right here. It is weaker from the past.
gained to establish a mid lane push and put EDG in an
Yeah, I mean, they set up vision around the Baron.
SKT also showed one of the most important...
So they were pretty much prepping the entire time for the Baron fight. What I don't get is why EDG just didn't push. Or maybe Baron was so good that you just can't let it slip.
Elements of orchestrating a comeback. Patience.
So maybe EDG just thought SKT was going for Baron and was already fighting Baron. And they were not prepared for it and they got immediately jumped. So maybe that's what happened.
This same team fight could have happened in the bottom lane.
Because they were all rushing towards it, right?
But the reason SKT didn't look for one is huge. At 27 minutes, SKT...
But wasn't the major fuck up, like, besides Janna not being able to use her things and not clicking fast enough, wasn't the major fuck up the underground thing that you could have sensed, but he just came up and just de-warded? Wasn't that like the start, the crumble, the beginning of the crumbling? SKT knew and they don't have vision in Baron, and SKT support was early there to get vision. I remember when I watched this live, EDG simply got impatient. They wanted to end the game already. They lacked info. They just lacked info. EDG shot caller was clear love the jungler. Without Baron, it's hard to end the game usually because minions die too fast. Especially during this year, towers were too strong. Oh. I mean, yeah, towers are pretty weak now, right? Especially with the crystals. I don't know what it's called, but if you don't hit it for a while and you hit it, it's like a chunk of his HP is gone. And plates as well. Open inhib was pushed back in mid, and inhib towers are still up at bot. The Baron kill speed is faster than them ending. And if T1 gets the buff. If your shot caller is a jungler, there's no way you'll give a free Baron. Who needs silence and flash? It will delay the game even more and helps T1 comp for late game plays. SKT could have defended tower 4v5 while someone took objectives. Could have defended the tower 4v5 while someone took objectives. I see. Not underground can't be helped. You can't really factor that they will jump you at that moment. But if he was underground for a little bit longer, he would have seen them coming, right? If the whole underground thing is that he can sense them. I don't know. I don't know how that chant works. So, the reason they don't push because SKT have more poke damage from Orianna and Cho'Gath. One mistake, they will lose there. That makes sense. Yeah, Twitch have high range from his ult. Funniest thing about this game is the map elevation still affecting the trajectory. It does? There's high ground in League? Or there was high ground in League? The hell? I didn't know that was a thing. There is still high... Huh? What does it do? What does high ground do in League? High ground, low ground. So you miss when you attack from low ground and high ground? Is that the main thing? Skill shots. Trajectory of skill shots. High ground doesn't necessarily affect the trajectory of skills in Dota. It affects auto attacks. So if you auto attack, you have a 25% chance of missing in Dota from low ground to high ground. If you're high ground, some champs are gonna have advantage. That's why it's really hard to push tier 3 towers in Dota, and that's where all the comeback happens. Let me put the multi-chat real quick. It's fine. For these videos, I'm likely not gonna post it since like it's just analysis, but it's good for me to learn, right? Wrong move. Let's take into consideration that EDG was 10k up. Everyone probably had 2 items advantage, so you think they can take any fight. That is true. Yeah, I mean, if you have that big of an advantage, you're not gonna think that you're losing the fights, right? Maybe the wrong move here is he kept being not underground and participated in clearing the creep wave. He should have went back down. Oh, I thought it was cooldown. I thought he came back up, he dewarded, and he was on cooldown, so he didn't go back down. But it's useless. Deflect skill shots. High ground, low ground is still a thing. Only nerds use it though. If you're a low ground, you have to aim lower the target. You know what the fuck? Visually, it deflects skill shots. What the fuck? In League, it changes the trajectory, making it weird, but not the damage. So it's kind of like your aim becomes crooked or something like that. A little bit weird. Like how you put a spoon into a glass and you see the reflection is a bit weird. Kind of like that, I guess. Yeah, just skill shots are similar to that. High ground, low ground is usually not being seen properly, but people question the high ground and low ground skill shots. People think it's a bug. You didn't watch Guma Yushi testing out Jin alt and high ground, low ground? Oh, definitely gonna watch that. Hitbox landing, your skill differs. Yeah, that's weird. I've never noticed that, but I never know. So I said before, this play reminds me of the play from Dota. It's literally called the play, and there's a multicam edition, but you can barely see. You can see the players react, but yeah.
Wrap around gang.
So this was Na'Vi versus IG. Na'Vi had Dendi and Puppy in the same team. IG is mostly a Chinese team, but they also had a Malaysian player, and he is the only Malaysian player to have ever won TI.
Tank is going to be the name of the game for IG. Who leads the way?
Most of you are not gonna know what the hell is happening in this, so I'll just explain when it does happen.
I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience for
Naga Siren has an ult that puts people to sleep. And when you are asleep, you are invulnerable to everything. However, you can still set up your skills. You can still do everything. And Naga can close her sleep at will.
From Zoe, waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everything.
This is an Enigma. His ult is a big black hole that sucks things in.
Everyone, oh, this could be a total disaster. Thank you.
So, like, they set things up, right? Darkseer vacuumed everything in. Tidehunter, big tentacle stun, CC. So they were expected to die.
Light of Heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendi. Are you kidding me? They turn it around.
This was a gank that went insanely bad. It looked insanely good for the first couple of seconds because everybody got caught. But then BKB is an item the Enigma has that prevents spells from CCing him, pretty much. There's a lot of shitty things in Dota that don't really tell you that it goes through BKB. Not that it matters here, but Black Hole is a ult that goes through BKB. So even if they had it on, they were fucking dead.
Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendi. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven. What's this BKB? They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd.
This one's more hype, of course. You can see the player reactions.
Who leads the way? I believe
it's Dendi, Puppy, Light of Heaven.
They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of Heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendi. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead. 5
heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter.
So yeah, this is one of the plays. Fucking TI2, how long was that ago? 13 years ago, I think. God, I'm old. God, I'm old. Is this the Dandy Express? No, Dandy Express is an entirely different thing that you reminded me exist. Dandy Express was next year. Was against Alliance. Rewatch TNC versus OG. Oh no. Oh no. No thank you. You notice in Dota it's rare when 5v5 happens. After the fight there is no clean wipe. Support is always dead. It's rare that 5 players standing. Yeah. Cause supports basically, depending on the supports that you pick, you're pretty much just kamikaze. You're diving in, you're throwing out your ults, you're disabling as many people as you can, and you're likely gonna die in the process. If you survive, that's when your items come. If you don't, it's fine. You're the ward bitch. You buy wards. That's your responsibility, and you hit jungles. Misusing Enigma for jungle. TNC, no. I used to do Enigma jungle where the mana ring has 2 armor. Yeah, Enigma jungle, Nature's Prophet jungle, fucking anyone could have jungled, but the likelihood of you getting reported is also pretty high. So BKB similar Sterak's gauge, is it? BKB is Sterak's gauge? Yeah, BKB is more similar to what's that item that just cleanses you? Is I don't remember exactly. Let me check. Where do I have it on? Not this, not this. I don't remember. I don't remember what it's called. Not this. Is it this? Maybe it's this. This is more of a you get CC'd and you press it and it's kind of like a BKB, but if you get CC'd again, you're dead. But Sterak's gauge, I've bought this before. This is more like Aeon Disc, I guess. But I mean, this is also like Aeon Disc. There's kind of nothing that's similar to a BKB. So the reason it is so hard to play ADC in League is because I still have the mindset of a Dota carry, which is like you get shit done, you farm a lot, and you typically would have a movement item that allows you to either hunt people down or get away safely from fights. You're perma-invis basically. And no such thing in League. QSS is the BKB of League. What is QSS? What the QSS? This? Removes all crowd control debuffs, excluding airborne. So you can't press it when you're airborne. I guess. It's the same thing. Pretty much the same thing, right? And maybe you need this to build this. I don't know. Mikhail's Blessing. Mikhail's Blessing. All crowd control debuffs, excluding airborne and suppression from an ally champion. This is an assisted BKB. So you can, I guess if you're a support, you buy this and you put it on someone and you hope that they survive. ADC in League is basically raise the puppy. The puppy is fragile. The puppy is a poodle. It's not a Doberman. It's not a hound. It's a little poodle. Mikhail is very popular in Pro for supports. I can see why. It feels like it's I might need to look at this item and put it in my brain somewhere. Morgana E is BKB. Morgana E is the spell reflect, right? Wait, that's Mel. What's Morgana E again? Morgana has a spell reflect. I mean, Mel has a spell reflect, right? I just don't remember which. This is more like anti-mage counterspell, except there's spells that anti-mage can't counter, like a hook. So if it's a projectile type spell and anti-mage presses it at the right time, it's gonna reflect back. So if it's a CC, it's gonna reflect back. 90% of her power budget. So that's insane though. You can use it on someone like this. If you just time it right, it's pretty crazy. Damn. Okay, that's it for that. So I'm gonna watch the let me see what this is about. It's like a 5-minute video. I'm just gonna watch this real quick and I'm probably gonna call it because it's getting pretty late and I gotta go eat. I don't know if I will stream tomorrow. If I do, join my Discord. If I go live, y'all will know. If I don't, then I'll try to stream on Saturday. But let's see this, because I need to know what... If I'm gonna be watching this, I'm not gonna be streaming this, because I need to probably watch a co-streamer, because I gotta know what the fuck is going on. But there's also the Gumayushi Lucian thing that... What was it? High ground? How do you... Do you have like a link that I can look at? Because I don't know. But we will watch this first.
The Mid-Season Invitational is back once again, and it's more exciting than ever. Here's everything you need to know about MSI in under 5 minutes. MSI is being held in Deja.
MSI is how? I thought it was the brand, the computer brand. MSI is mid-season, or is it also sponsored by the brand and they call it this because it fits? Am I crazy? Is it sponsored by MSI?
South Korea, and will be starting on the 28th of June, running until the grand finals on the 12th of July. 11 teams from around the world will battle to claim one of the most prestigious trophies on the LoL Esports calendar. Starting off with the LCK, we've got the first seed Hanwha Life Esports. The superstar-studded roster that missed out on MSI last year has now brought in Kanavi and Gumayushi to cement themselves as the strongest team from the LCK in spring. As the second seed, we've got the reigning world champions T1, who had a hard-fought battle against Genji in a 5-game series to clutch their way to the tournament. The world champions brought in Pays from JDG in the LPL to finalize their roster for the year, who has slotted in perfectly. Moving over to the LPL, we've got the first seed BLG, who brought Viper in from Hanwha Life Esports at the start of the year and are on track for the Golden Road. Bolstered up by their powerhouse solo laners Bin and Knight, BLG looked unstoppable in the LPL, barring one series loss to WE. As the second...
So there hasn't been a team that completed the Golden Road, right? There's only been teams that are close, but then they got derailed by T1. And now, like, this team is on track for... BLG is on track for the Golden Road? E disappeared with just one hook. Isn't it the duration? Can absorb any CC during the time? I mean, maybe it's because they only threw one spell. So I don't know. Maybe the duration was over. Not the brand, just mid-season. Oh. It's a lost opportunity for MSI sponsorship is what it is. I legit thought they called it MSI because it's the brand that sponsored it. No one got Golden Road yet. G2 almost. So BLG is close this year if
the WE. As the second seed, we've got Top Esports, where Cream and Jackie Love were set for a strong winter split. Drama surrounded the team, but a familiar face in Tian returned in March to help take them to top 2 in the league, alongside a new face to the international stage in Julian in the top lane. From the LEC as the first seed, we have G2 Esports, who had an amazing showing at first stand, going 6-0 against the LCK teams Genji and Fearex just a few months ago. Led by the best...
But they also gotta win MSI, right? So... if BLG gets MSI, Summer in Worlds yet possible. Jackie Love, the Uzi at home. BLG are halfway down the road. How many tournaments are there until Worlds? Is there more? Worlds is in... When's Worlds this year? Worlds 2026 is October. So there's still like 4 months-ish to go. How, like, besides... Oh, MSI is the mid-season tournament, so it's like midterms. There's more. MSI, Summer LVL, then Worlds. Oh, Summer has... Why does my brain think Summer is already... Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. 3 local splits, 3 internationals. First stand, MSI, and Worlds. Damn. First stand, then MSI, then Worlds. First stand's already passed, then MSI and World Summer split. So a summer split left. I see. Winter, spring, and summer locally, then 3 inter. First stand, MSI, and Worlds. Okay, yeah. There's still summer. Yeah, because like if you win summer split, then it just means you're qualified to Worlds, right? Yeah, splits are only domestic league, yeah. So LPL, LCK, whatever the NA one is called, and whatever the EU one is called. I don't remember.
Caps looking for another MSI trophy. Coming in as the second seed is Carmine Corp, a European super team brought up by powerful Korean solo laners in Kana and Yehu, the best support in NA.
What is European super team brought up by Korean players? So I guess this happens in well, exported Korean players, I guess. Whereas a lot of Dota players is mostly just either North American players or Southeast Asian players going over to Europe so they can have better opportunities.
Lucio and domestic star power from Yike and Kalist. Just how high is the ceiling for this team, who managed to take G2 all the way to 5 games? From the LCS as the first seed, we have Lion Gaming, who has been absolutely dominating in NA, having won 3-0 against both Cloud9 and Team Liquid in the later stages of playoffs, led by Inspired, of course. Time will tell how this team built around him will perform internationally. Coming in as the second seed, we've got Team Liquid, who rebuilt their 2026 roster around Yon and Core JJ, bringing in Morgan from the LCK, Quid from 100 Thieves, and Jose Diodo from Isurus. Success has started to show for the team as they took down Cloud9 in a 3-0 fashion to grab the second ticket to MSI for North America. From the LCP, we have the first seed Team Secret Wales, who have completed a perfect undefeated LCP split and is a team entirely led by their jungler Histo. Levi may have retired, but Vietnam have already found a worthy replacement. You can expect them to have strong early games and snowball into some wins this tournament, but their laners are maybe a little bit too weak for a full best of 5 versus the top teams, but we'll see. We already saw what CFO have done last year. As the second seed, we have Deep Cross Game.
So Southeast Asia is irrelevant in League, same as Dota. Big sad. One of our C representative is DCG, a team that got demoted to tier 2. Got back to tier 1 this year and went to top 2 in our region. This is exactly why I don't take Dota 2 tourney seriously. League is way past NA and C being the top players. Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what the game state is, they'll think it's a fight that they can take and they'll force really hard. This is a team that'll look to engage
What in the
and dive.
fuck happened there, dude?
It's kind of like really hard. This is a team that'll look to engage and dive, but is very one-dimensional.
Got glitched in the
like
Matrix.
2018 IG, but half the skill, half the source, good solo laners, and a very crazy jungle support, and an AD carry who loves to step up and fight you. Finally, from the CB LoL, we have Furia, who
He
swept
adopted
the
the
CB LoL playoffs
Uzi.
bracket, only having lost one game to loss in the finals. The team led by Tattoo has only seen a little bit of international play this year, dominating the America Cup against the LCS teams, having gone 8-0 against them just a couple months ago. Let's see how they do at this international. Now let's talk about the format. The format will be 20 best of 5s.
What the fuck?
No best of 1s.
What is 20 best of 5?
Now let's talk about the format. The format will be 20 best of 5s, plain and simple. No best of 3s, no best of 1s, best of 5s all the way through the tournament.
What the hell?
Where T1, Team Liquid, KC, and DSG will be drawn into a bracket where only one team can come out alive and join the rest of the 7 teams in the MSI main stage. The play-in bracket is ruthless, meaning one of the teams will need to win 3 best of 5s to continue into the main stage. In the main stage, 8 teams will be seeded into a massive double elimination best of 5 fearless bracket all the way up until the finals of July 12th. Let's talk a little bit about the meta, which is kind of all over the place right now. I think this patch and the current state of League is quite free. We see so many different picks in so many different roles, lots of pocket picks. Sure, there are the OP champions.
Yeah, that's good though.
High-list prio champions, things like Cassiopeia and Oriana. Varus and Rumble are top of the food chain, for example, but just in the last few weeks we've seen Zyra mids, Nasus jungles, Sion mids, GP tops, Vayne tops, range supports, melee supports. The list really does go on. The main point is that Fearless and the recent patch changes have really allowed almost anything to work, so preparation for these best of 5s will be absolutely crucial, as they'll need to practice these niche picks to surprise.
Oh,
now let's
no.
talk about what time does MSI start. As the tournament's being held in Korea, that means for CET European fans, the first best of 5 will start at 5 AM and the second best of 5 will start at roughly 10 AM. For NA PST, that'll be around 8 PM for the first best of 5 and roughly 1 AM for the second best of 5, but again, rolling schedule, so be careful. And for Korea/Southeast Asia, it'll be around midday start for the first and towards 4 to 5 PM for the second best of 5. Like I said, it's rolling schedule, so be careful on that second best of 5. Some days have 2 best of 5s, some days have only 1 best of 5. Last year's MSI, to me, was one of the most ruthless and competitive tournaments I've ever seen. This one really is shaping up to be something similar with the meta, the 20 best of 5s, the teams that are there. It's gonna be an absolute blast. 28th of June until the 12th of July, make sure you're there. I'll be covering every game, as always, on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Kajal. And if you want to just watch the VODs, I'll put every game on YouTube.
Okay, that was good to know. Good, you see Lucian alt. Not Lucian, Jin. Where thing. Can't find shit. Last year we had a really good showing, unfortunately got disbanded immediately. So it is unstable as shit then. Kana, Casey's top laner, was in T1, but Zeus got a spot due to a conflict in management, where a guy in T1 management died with whom he had a verbal agreement, and ended up teamless until Casey took him. So T1 Casey will be hype in top lane. Damn. Was it the person they did like what? Brain. No food. This is why I cannot think. Cause they did like a tribute thing, right? For the T1 Rose together. Was it that guy? That schedule is very nice for us. Hells yeah. For the video from K-Roll React. What? From Cadrol React? What? This? No. Huh? So the changing goes from Kana to Zeus and now Doran as the top, yeah. But like the guy that was mentioned that died and had a verbal agreement. Just copy. Oh. $14 minutes?
Alright, what's poppin'? My mouse man has so many crumbs on it, chat. I eat too much on my table. Fun, bro. Think about it. Play, because they always get to sit on the
In the backside, he's gonna take out Hayes. This is insanity. How are Kwang no freaks win? Never mind, there's a Cassante. Oh, Dudu comes back. He's trying to help out. Can he take down Keen? I'm curious about.
The fuck? My ears.
Obviously, he missed. I think he knows he can't do it. That sounds like.
And on the other side, it's the same hole.
My ears.
What?
A 360p? What the hell? My internet, bros.
What? Can they fix high ground, low ground or something? Like, what is that?
Why is it like this? Why is it like this?
Yo, just remove high ground, low ground. That is pathetic.
Yeah, fucking remove this. It makes no sense. I thought it would be like, you know, the target would actually, you know, shift a little bit, but it turns out it's just completely straight and you miss. Huh?
I didn't know it was that bad.
Why is it like this? Now this one hits. What? That's so weird.
That is fucked.
If you are low ground, aim for feet hit. If you are high ground,
hits, I think it's because the hitbox is massive.
Oh, that's so weird.
That is cooked.
Ugh. At the very least, this one hits, right? The alt. So it still hits, but the W is just freaking weird. It's quite shady because there was conditions in contract that was to be rewritten, but T1 refused.
That is fucked.
What was agreed between Kana and John Kim, the guy that died. Yeah, it's John Kim.
Because the hitbox is massive.
So his name was mentioned, I think, at the end of T1 Rose Together. But that's weird. Alt has a bigger projectile, so a lot of the laser beam type skills are just gonna miss. Like, is that it? If you don't aim for the feet? This is so weird. No. But if the positions were reversed and you shoot a straight line, it hits, right? Because it's high ground, technically to low ground. Kate is the same with her Q. Jesus. That's ass. So a lot of the lasers just don't. Weird. Very weird. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. I am beyond tired. I need to go eat. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but if you guys wanna just follow whenever I stream, because my stream schedule is gonna be really freaking turbulent for the next coming the oncoming weeks. My sister's visiting from the States, and she's gonna have kids coming with her. She already had the kids, but the kids are coming along, and they're gonna be very curious, and they're gonna be knocking on my door every 10 minutes, so I don't know if I can stream that. But if I can sneak in a stream, I will do it. If not, I will probably just post the reacts and I'll play a bit off stream and try to get comfortable with top lane a bit more before I eventually start ranked. But if I do start ranked, it's gonna be on stream. I'm not gonna do ranked stuff off stream. You know, Discord as well. Alrighty, I'll get to that in a bit. I mean, level 10 to 15 tomorrow. Damn, you're fast. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I am gonna go eat, and I will see you when I see you. Peace. Bye bye.